This is ESPN on ABC, brought to you in part by Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
Ohio State boarded the plane to Texas with a rep as the ultimate road warriors, but without suspended head coach Urban Meyer for one last game. Arlington has been the Buckeyes' happy place in recent years. TCU makes an 18-mile bus ride from campus. Facing the Blue Bloods, the Horned Frogs have been salty and successful underdogs. But tonight's challenge is real against the quarterback's nightmare, Nick Bosa, and the Buckeyes' stockpiled roster. Welcome to Arlington. And Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Wells Fargo. Tonight's clash between the 4th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes and the 15th-ranked Horned Frogs of TCU here at AT&T Stadium. Deep in the heart of Texas, but no TCU home game. Ohio State's alumni army has traveled and will flex their vocal cords tonight. Lots of scarlet and gray inside this place. And welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Maria Taylor will join us. Kirk, it's a September game with playoff importance. We're kind of in playoff central. The rankings of the bracket produced about 20 miles north of here. Both these teams would love to be back here for a semifinal December 29th. If the Horned Frogs win, they jump in the conversation big time in the top 5 perhaps. For Ohio State, one of their biggest tests all season.
Yeah, especially early. I mean, they've looked so good at home without Urban Meyer. Now they're on the road without him. And up to this point, it's been flawless. Tonight is their first big test.
Meyer is in your position at home watching the game on TV, back on the sidelines next week. For Ryan Day, age 39, as the principal play caller against a tricky defense, head coach responsibilities, biggest test he's had so far.
Yeah, and he's going to have to rely on offense, obviously, to make big plays. His quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, these first 2 weeks has been flawless with the execution. He's had lots of time to be able to make decisions. At times, it's almost looked like a 7-on-7 drill. He's had so much time. You see the 9 touchdowns, only 11 incompletions. It's been a different approach from Ohio State. Without J.T. Barrett, they are spreading defenses out with 5 wide receivers, allowing him to distribute the football. In many cases, it's been downfield. So the combination of the running game along with the vertical attack has made it very tough for teams to come up and defend this offense now. I think it's a very different feel. As you can see here, he's looking to get the ball downfield, try to find some vertical seams. And the challenge tonight for TCU is you got to deal with the physicality of the running game, and then you got to worry about Dwayne Haskins throwing the ball downfield. But I will say this will be very different for the Ohio State offense as far as the challenge because of the way Gary Patterson historically can get after the quarterback.
Yeah, the stats are silly so far for Ohio State, but no pressure yet. No pressure on the quarterback and no scoreboard pressure. They're scoring early and often. Patterson's teams just thrive in this situation. The last 10 games against top 5 opposition, they've split him 5-5, and he believes his team has a real chance.
Well, I think he's got a chance because he believes in his scheme. He believes in his philosophy. It's worked for him in the past. He loves to kind of back his team into a corner and say, hey, people don't think you can do this. We think we can. Ben Banigou, who's a tremendous pass rusher, 15, will be on one side as a defensive end. And L.J. Collier comes back. You see the 8.5 career sacks. More importantly, Chris, he's 280 pounds. So by getting him back at end, they can move Ty Summers, who you'll see tonight, number 42, who's been playing end, back to middle linebacker. So it gives them a lot more size to be able to try to hold up to the physicality of the Ohio State offensive line in the running game.
TCU's got a dynamic dual-threat quarterback in Sean Robinson, but he's a young guy. He has never faced a challenge like this Ohio State defense. Will put the spotlight on number 97 for the Buckeyes, the pass rusher extraordinaire, Nick Bosa, keeping up the Bosa tradition. Should be a lot of fun. Plenty of Buckeye fans here in Texas. The Horned Frogs and the Ohio State Buckeyes coming up very soon from AT&T Stadium.
The Nissan pregame rush is next after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our full lineup of tech-filled Titan trucks with V8 standard and best-in-class standard horsepower and torque, all backed by America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $10,687, or for a limited time, get a low $279 per month lease on a well-equipped Titan. Hurry, Truck Month ends soon.
America's top critics agree the fall's must-watch drama is A Million Little Things.
Here comes the wrestler!
ABC has its emotional hit.
To John. To John.
A Million Little Things, a new drama, September 26th on ABC.
Patrick Morrissey, I approve this message. I remember what it was like growing up when my dad lost his job. When I became Attorney General, I wanted to go after Barack Obama's coal-killing regulations. We went all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court, and we won. Joe Manchin cozied up to Hillary Clinton. They disrespect the hard-working men and women of our state. I'm never going to do that. I'm going to stand up for you. Liberal Joe's got to go. Amen, brothers.
He's going to fight for you like nobody's ever fought for the people of West Virginia.
Joe Manchin tries to talk like West Virginia, but votes against West Virginia in Washington. Manchin sided with Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi, voting to give amnesty to millions of illegal immigrants. Manchin joined Obama and Pelosi in supporting new restrictions on our gun rights. And when Hillary Clinton threatened West Virginia coal miners, Manchin stood with Hillary, not with us. Joe Manchin talks West Virginia, votes with them. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Richard Ojeda, the grandson of a Logan County coal mining family. Ojeda served 24 years in the United States Army, retiring as a major, 2 combat tours in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan, earning 2 Bronze Stars. He's a husband and father, currently serving in the West Virginia State Senate.
I'm running for Congress because I think we deserve better. We need to diversify our economy, but I think that we also still have a future in coal. I want to protect Social Security, and I'm going to put you, the people, before politics. I'm Richard Ojeda, and I approve of this message.
Experienced journalists uncovering the truth. The Eyewitness News IT.
It's game night at the Heisman House.
Bo dominates any game he plays.
Checkmate. Mahjong. I claim the kingdom.
Welcome to the Nissan pregame rush. Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Hey there, welcome to the studio. Kevin Nagani alongside Mac Brown and Jonathan Velma. And Bo's not going to like the next highlight we're about to show because Auburn had a 20-point lead. Last year, they lost to LSU. They blow an 11-point lead at home on the Plains to LSU.
Yeah, it wasn't just about the kick. They controlled the ball. LSU controlled the ball for over 35 minutes, ended up +2 on turnover.
Joe Burrow was great. Cole Tracy, the difference. Meanwhile, the difference here is Tua to Judy.
Stretching that offense, making the defense impossible to cover. It's easy pickings for Alabama right now.
Number 1 Alabama rolling over on ESPN. Wisconsin stunned at home by BYU.
BYU played Wisconsin football and beat them at their own game.
They were favored by 23.5 points, and their playoff hopes may have come to an end in Madison. That looks set it all. Meanwhile, not a good start for Scott Frost. Still looking for his first win as a head coach at Nebraska.
Well, Troy came to play, give them credit. He did not have his starting quarterback for this game, but Nebraska's going to have to find a way to win.
Troy beats LSU on the road last year. They beat Nebraska on the road in Lincoln here. And about this game in Jerry's world, it's all about number 4 OSU and that offense. Does TCU have enough on defense to slow them down?
They're really quick. They're well coached. I coached against Gary Patterson a lot of years. I don't think they're going to be big enough to hang in there against this front.
No, they don't. It's because of Dwayne Haskins, the way he throws the ball, commands the offense. No chance for TCU.
All right, we get the chance to see the first real test
just trying to
for
be
Haskins.
nice. You know, he was
Enjoy the game. We'll see you at the half. Chris?
All right, guys, thank you. There's the man for the Buckeyes defense. Nick Bosa carrying on the family name, off to a great start. A nightmare for offensive linemen on Saturdays this year and probably on Sundays next season. He is joined by the man in the middle of that Ohio State defense, Baron Browning, one of 7 Texans on this Buckeye team. He comes from the Horned Frogs' hometown of Fort Worth. His dad played for TCU. Extra inspired tonight in his return to the Lone Star State. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. Kickoff from Arlington is coming up next. And now we'll look inside Nissan's Heisman House.
The college football playoff lives on ESPN.
On and on, that's how we go. All right, everyone. We're headed down to the Big D this weekend for Ohio State TCU. Anybody got any early ideas for this week?
They're kind of the cream of the crop in Texas right now, and they're kind of the smallest school that no one even talks about.
And TCU is on the board. Ohio State interim coach until next week.
You know, one more week here and then kind of back to normal.
What is that, the Riff Ram cheer?
It's some TCU tradition. It's like 100 years old.
All right, what else we got? Really roll our sleeves up.
Ohio State's offense right now is just, it's so different.
Haskins' pass is caught.
I mean, Dwayne Haskins, he set some Ohio State record for his first 2 starts.
1957, I saw some old video. The only time TCU has beaten Ohio State.
Have fun, boys. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Our crew, proud to be with you from familiar territory. AT&T Stadium, set for TCU and Ohio State. Buckeyes led by interim head coach Ryan Day, who's a Chip Kelly protege, former New Hampshire quarterback, and has a lot of responsibilities tonight. He's with Maria Taylor.
He sure does, Chris. All right, Coach, your first road trip as the top 15 matchup. What's the final message you just delivered to this team?
That we're going to be in for 60 minutes of a fight, you know, and that sometimes you're going to be, you know, you're hitting them, but sometimes you're going to take a punch and you got to be able to respond to it. But what a great atmosphere. This is why you come to Ohio State as a coach or a player, so we're excited to play.
First-year starting quarterback in Dwayne Haskins, only been pressured 3 times. What do you have to see from him early today?
Exactly what we've been seeing. It's all across the board. You know, we got to protect for him and establish a line of scrimmage, and the guys on the outside got to make plays.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
And they will call plays against that man, Gary Patterson, the head coach, the second longest tenure in the FBS, and obviously he calls the defenses for TCU. So it's interesting tonight, Kirk. You got 2 youthful play callers. It's Sonny Cumbie for Patterson, Greg Schiano for Ohio State, against kind of veteran defensive minds.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you know, I think you're an underdog and you're used to being in this role when you play a big brand. You know what it takes to be able to pull off an upset. One of the big things it takes is to bring an energy into the game and have some success early in the game to get yourself to believe, hey, this is going to happen tonight. And if you're Ohio State, boy, you're looking for a knockout punch and try to create some doubt as soon as you can.
Neither team been remotely tested. Ohio State has clobbered Oregon State and Rutgers. For TCU, it's been Southern and SMU, a rivalry game which they got off to a slow start, trailed 9-0, but then roared back. TCU won the toss and deferred, so Ohio State will get the football, and we'll see Dwayne Haskins in this red-hot offense very soon. Cole Bunce, the junior, to boot it away for the Horned Frogs. Johnny Dixon back deep, along with C.J. Saunders. And the Buckeye faithful have traveled from Columbus, and many of them based here in Texas, bought up a whole lot of tickets tonight. Enjoy this September game with big playoff impacts. And Bunce's boot goes out of bounds, draws a flag, and Ohio State will be set up from the 35-yard line.
Kick out of bounds. Kick your team. The ball
Dwayne
be placed at
Haskins,
35-yard line.
the sophomore, came on an emergency duty against Michigan and brought them from behind for a victory. Man, he's been sharp so far.
Yeah, I think that experience really helped him come into the offseason to be able to take over for J.T. Barrett, who is such an inspirational leader for this team. Very different style. We'll talk about this offense, because of that, is a different style. Very cool customer. You and I were over in Columbus Wednesday at practice. He's about as chill as it gets for a young quarterback getting ready to play a big game.
Ball never hit the ground. No. Very accurate. J.K. Dobbins, a Texas native, is in the ball game. He's hit in the backfield and spun down for a loss. Flying in was the safety, Ennis Gaines.
That's what this Ohio State offensive line is going to have to be prepared for. This is not Oregon State or Rutgers. They will attack you. You can see across from left to right. This is a big offensive line.
Haskins from the pocket delivers. Austin Mack makes a catch, and they'll move the chains out near midfield.
Nice job getting the ball out quickly. Good play call here. Haskins is a rhythmic quarterback. Loves to establish himself early, get his feet settled, and I love the quick throw there back to the boundary to Mack.
Play action from the pocket. It's clean. Field shot from Mack. Leaping play. Catch at the 2-yard line. You've seen the accuracy short and deep from Haskins.
And Austin Mack is a receiver that's getting better each week. They're clearly going into the boundary towards Lewis. And Mack, with his size at 6'2" and speed downfield, how about the ball skills to hold on to that ball?
48-yard play sets him up 1st and goal. Dobbins again hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Garrett Wallow, the linebacker, got him.
Yeah, Wallow is a former safety who has moved into that linebacker spot. They say he's incredibly aggressive, great instincts. He just shoots right through the gaps. That's what TCU will try to do. Defensive linemen try to eat up the double teams, free up those linebackers and safeties.
Haskins can run, but not the same way Barrett does. Out of the backfield, Dobbins was open, but the pass is broken up. Again, it was Gaines off the edge with the pressure. Touchdown saving play.
Yeah, Gaines is active. He is a safety, but he's up at the line of scrimmage. And as you said, that is a touchdown saving play. Nobody out to take Berry in the flat. Watch Gaines get up. Nobody in the flat. If he puts a little bit more of a touch on it over the top of him, he walks into the end zone.
So 3rd and goal. Dobbins behind Haskins. 4-receiver look. No pressure. Dart across the middle. Drops. That was Mack who made the big play to set him up 1st and goal. Couldn't collect that one. And TCU's defense makes a big stand from the 2-yard line.
Something to go back to is they're going into the boundary. They feel very good about that matchup with Austin Mack up against Julius Lewis. Perfectly thrown ball right in stride. And Austin Mack just unable to hold on to that ball. Look at the accuracy. You're getting a really good feel for how accurate Dwayne Haskins is. And that's all we've seen from him since he played last year against Michigan in the 2nd half.
Chip shot from Sean Nurnberger was extremely accurate from short range. Buckeyes take it 62 yards in 7 plays, but that drop by Mack, a 4-point play.
Yeah, a big drop, an aggressive approach from Ohio State. You know, all this buildup about going on the road for the first time, and Gary Patterson's defense is going to be a lot more aggressive, and are they going to run the ball to set up the pass? And right away they come out with their first 6 plays. 4 of them are passes. And like I said, you saw an aggressive approach from Gaines and the rest of this defense, but clearly they see a matchup that they're going to try to exploit into the boundary with Austin Mack with his size at 6'2", and Julius Lewis, 24, who's undersized at 5'10".
Very different looking Ohio State offense. It was kind of a methodical, grinded out run to set up the pass in recent years.
Yeah, well, JT Barrett, I mean, he could throw the ball, obviously, but he was a heck of a runner. I mean, they used him in the running game quite a bit. That is not the case now with Dwayne Haskins.
Blake Hobble to kick it away. The very dangerous Cavante Turpin. A man who's got 5 kicks returned for touchdown in his career. 4 punt, 1 kickoff. He steps in front and takes it at the 4. Urban Meyer coaches the special teams, does it in practice. He's not here, of course, but they are a fine unit, and they stop Turpin short of the 20-yard line. So here comes Sean Robinson. It's his 6th start in this building. He was 4-1 as a high school player at DeSoto, including a state title. This is by far the best defense he's ever seen in his life.
One of the more highly touted quarterbacks and players that Gary Patterson's ever been able to bring into Fort Worth. You can see in 2016, the Gatorade Player of the Year in this state. I mean, that says a lot, and they're able to bring him in. I'm as excited to watch him, to see his development, how he does against this defense, as I am to watch Dwayne Haskins. He's got real ability, dual threat guy.
And it's a play-action throw, and 1st down, they get the ball to the edge. That's one of the talented backs, Darius Anderson, nicknamed Jet, because he's a fast guy. And there's the offensive line that'll have the job of dealing with Nick Bosa and Draymond Jones in that front.
And I think Ohio State has an advantage up here. They're going to have to wear down the Ohio State defensive line.
There's a quick 2nd down play. It'll set up 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Bosa on the tackle.
What I mean by that is when you look at Nick Bosa and Draymond Jones and Chase Young and Robert Landers, boy, they're going to have an advantage against most people they play. TCU's got to do a good job with an up-tempo approach, getting the ball sideline to sideline to try to wear them down. The biggest thing is you need 1st downs.
Shewa Olanolua, number 33, is their power short yardage back. He's in the ball game. But it's Robinson rolling and throwing to Artavius Lynn, and the tight end. 1st down yardage across the 35.
Boy, this is a good play. Expecting man-to-man. The receiver right here is going to occupy the linebacker. It doesn't allow him to get to the outside. Watch Tough Borland try to run with him. Runs into a little bit of a roadblock there, and it opened it up.
Get your breath, partner. These teams are both playing fast. That's Solano Lua busting for a nice gain.
They're rotating some players in. Right now they are not, so they can go as fast as they want, trying to create confusion for Ohio State.
There's another little throw in the flat. They get a block on the edge. And there's Kay Barber, one of the true freshmen. Boy, who can play faster at this point? Frogs are in OSU territory.
Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator for TCU. There's a good look at him. He comes from the Mike Leach family tree of coaches.
This is hyperspeed. There's a flag down. The catch is made by Jalen Rager, who's got a first down. Now we'll check the marker. Part of playing fast is you do sacrifice some execution.
Got to make sure everybody. Yeah, you got to make sure everybody is lined up. I mean, when you're going that fast.
Defense, number 8. That penalty is declined. Result of the play.
Buckeyes expect this kind of tempo, this much.
Yeah, well, I don't know about this much, but what I said was, what do you do against a great defensive line in college football in 2018? When you have a little bit of a mismatch up there, you've got to go up tempo and get the ball to the sideline to make the defense run and try to get them out of position and try to get them fatigued.
Empty backfield, 5-receiver look. They fake it to Turpin. They flip it in the flat. It's a bubble screen. And again, it's Jalen Rager, who's a speedster. They have this Buckeye defense head spinning right now.
They know Ohio State's going to play a lot of man-to-man. They're going with some man beaters, a lot of rubs, a lot of picks. Very effective.
16-yard gain. They flip it in the flat to Turpin, the very shifty 157-pounder.
You know, when you're an Ohio State defense trying to prepare for this, it's very, very tough to emulate this in practice. Next thing you know, you come out and you're looking around to the sideline trying to get a call, and the ball's already snapped. Now TCU makes the substitution, which allows Ohio State to do the same.
This is already the 9th play of the drive. They've had it 2.5 minutes. Nobody can practice that
Robinson's
fast.
6 of 6 right now.
Darius Anderson takes the handoff, gets the edge, gets the end zone. A flag comes out very late, just as Anderson was crossing the goal line. And they're signaling holding against TCU.
And Turpin blocking Damon Arnett.
Offense, number 25, 10-yard penalty, second down.
The shame of it is he didn't even need to really, if he just stood in his way. Anderson walks into the end zone. Turpin hustling, trying to making a play downfield. It was almost right inside the 5-yard line. It's right in front of you, right here.
The hat cam.
The hat cam right there. See, right there he grabs onto the jersey of Arnett. That was going to be a huge gain regardless.
Backs the ball up to the 17-yard line, 2nd and 11. Gives the Ohio State defense a chance to get a breath and make a substitution.
Yeah, they got guys running on and off.
It'll be a high-speed chess match tonight for both defensive coordinators. Solano Lua muscles for a short gain inside the 15. Pete Werner stopped him.
Yeah, Pete Werner jumping down. I want you to remember this. By him coming down, Sean Robinson's going to come back and make a throw on that. Surprised he didn't pull that out and throw the football, because Werner committed as a hang player. He's committing down to the run game. Robinson's eyes on him. Look for them to come back to that later and throw off of that look.
Got a 3rd and 8.
He sees man-to-man across the board. This is where they've been using those rub routes and picks.
And there's a throw to the end zone, but not getting there. Well defended. Sean Wade, the freshman, was guarding Jarrison Stewart. It's 4th down.
How about Sean Robinson? He looked across, saw man-to-man, and what did he do? He went after the true freshman, who's immensely talented. Sean Wade out of Jacksonville, went to IMG. Has just gotten better and better in recent weeks. In fact, not only is he a corner, they'll play him in a nickel, and they'll also even play him at safety. He's really picked up this defense quickly, but they went after him, and he's stride for stride in phase.
Made a pick against Rutgers last week. So now TCU with Cole Bunce will try to match Ohio State's field goal. This from 31 yards. And it is sliding wide right. So TCU, a hyperspeed 69-yard drive, but the penalty nullifies the touchdown and they come up empty. Well, folks, we're in for a track meet tonight. There's not going to be much dead air here at AT&T. Still 3-0 Ohio State. Nissan brings you tonight's Heisman Watch. You see the stats of Haskins through 2 games. In Columbus, they were saying Nick Bosa for Heisman, throwing his name in there as a defensive star. It's early, though. Second possession for Haskins and the Buckeyes. Got a field goal out of the first one. And it's Mike Weber with his first carry. Tries to bounce to the edge, and TCU's pursuit. Lewis knock him out.
I'm really impressed with Mike Weber, how he has really improved. Let's take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players. He's one of them, along with Johnny Dixon. Really the group of receivers. They got to get the ball downfield. Got a defense that's got players that can make plays, and they've got to attack just like we saw in that first series.
Haskins with the football, flips it in the flat, and the catch is made by KJ Hill. And he's out near the 45. KJ celebrating his birthday tonight with a catch and a first down.
They're protecting him and giving him time. It's a crossing route, kind of a scissors route underneath. Takes a little bit of time for him to eventually find the open man, but so far the offensive line, if you give Dwayne Haskins time, he's going to pick you apart.
Got 20 more yards, and there's Weber with the carry. You got birthdays tonight, Kirk, for KJ Hill, fellow receiver and captain Paris Campbell, or excuse me, CJ Saunders, and Terry McLaurin. You got 3 guys, one position, one team, same birthday tonight.
And I think Johnny Dixon's tomorrow.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. How about 3 captains on one team as wide receivers?
That's also
I never heard of that.
No. 5-yard gain for Weber at 2nd and 5. Haskins play action, has a clean pocket again and fires downfield. Tried to get the ball to Rashad Berry. Couldn't make a one-handed catch.
He got away with one here. I know he's got accuracy. He put enough on it. I want you to watch Gaines right here, the safety. I think he feels pretty good about what he's going to do. He's sinking in coverage, Ball goes just beyond his reach. And Dwayne Haskins is a confident passer. He will take chances because of the confidence he has in his arm, the accuracy, and of course, his group of wide receivers.
Need 5 on this 3rd down. Haskins pressured up the middle, hit as he throws. The completion is made, but Paris Campbell tackled short of a first down. Goodwan Isahaku made the play. It's 4th and 2.
They actually are able to get here. Watch this middle linebacker Wallow blitz. Nobody picks him up, and that is a low hit by Wallow at the quarterback. Haskins gets up, but that's the pressure that we're talking about, especially on 3rd down, that TCU will try to put on you. Try to confuse that offensive line.
Drew Crispin to punt it. We'll try to pin Camonte Turpin deep. It's a high kick, and Turpin signals for a fair catch and backpedals to the 7-yard line. So the Buckeyes stall near midfield. 2nd possession coming up for Sean Robinson and the TCU offense.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Wells Fargo. Established 1852, re-established 2018. In part by Nissan, innovation that excites, and Colgate.
First national champs of the playoff era, Urban Meyer company right in this building. Of course, TCU chafed about that. They dropped from number 3 to number 6 in the final rankings. Ohio State made the strong push. TCU would have loved to be here in their backyard to play in the championship game. And there's a little bit of bad blood between TCU fans and Ohio State that goes back even a little further 4 seasons ago. Robinson and the Frogs backed up after the punt, and there's a first down handoff to Alanalua. Maria Taylor on the field.
Hey, Chris, there's a lot of talk with Ohio State's defense about the up-tempo that they're seeing from TCU. A focus for Larry Johnson, the D-line coach, says, where are your eyes? Stay focused. Eye discipline's important. Play fast, not rush.
Hit at the goal line and sacked, and the ball is recovered for a touchdown by Ohio State. Davon Hamilton made the touchdown recovery. Bosa got there in a hurry.
Well, this was their big fear, was the big left tackle, McKinney. He's a junior college transfer. It's very tough for any tackle without help of a running back or tight end. When a quarterback is back there holding the ball, he held it too long. It gave Bosa time to get around the tackle. And you're talking about the best pass rusher in college football.
So the punt, pinned back TCU, and Robinson hit. And the touchdown by the Ohio State defense gives them a double-digit lead midway first quarter. We said that this is going to be the hugest test of young Sean Robinson's life.
And Bosa is a technician. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. But the way he uses his hands allows him to get around offensive linemen quickly, steps up, makes a big play, and gives the Buckeyes a 10-point lead here early.
Ohio State with a 10-0 lead. The strip sack by Bosa. The fumble recovery in the end zone. But we'll show you another look at that. And we'll ask Dave Kataya if that should have been ruled a touchdown or not. It's very close in the scrum near the back line. Hubble boots it to the goal line. And here's Turpin. And he has knocked down excellent coverage so far by Ohio State. So Dave Kataya, our rules expert, let's keep a close eye on Draymond Jones, number 86 here, Dave.
All right, he doesn't have possession of the ball at that point. He rolls over, and I'll stop it right there. Take a look at the arm touching the ball, his left arm touching the ball. Go one more frame, and you see that foot down. Take a look at his foot. It's down there. That puts the ball out of bounds, and really, that makes it a safety because the fumble put it into the end zone. Ohio State put it out of bounds, even though they're on the defense. It's a safety because the offense is responsible for the ball being in the end zone.
Wow. So the replay crew did not buzz down. They missed it, and the Ohio State touchdown gives them a lead. Robinson hit hard after a first down gain of 10 yards to the 27.
How about they come right back, and instead of blocking Joey Bosa, they just read him. And Sean Robinson can run the zone read. So that will be an answer to how dominant 97 can be. Is you'll see them from time to time, just like they did in the Rose Bowl against J.J. Watt. Just read him instead of always trying to block him. That's a tough ask for that left tackle.
Bosa 4 sacks already. Recovered 2 fumbles, caused that one. Now whistle before the snap. Bosa's pointing at the offensive line. TCU doesn't seem to matter.
Offside. Defense jumping in the neutral zone, causing the offensive lineman to react. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It doesn't seem to matter field position, down distance. They are determined to play fast. It may have cost them on that sack on the goal line.
Yeah, well, not only that, all of a sudden you get yourself into a hole 10-0, and you still continue to go this fastball, this tempo. You better have success. Otherwise, you can all of a sudden be down. You're putting your defense in a tough spot.
It's 1st and 5. And Robinson has pressure. Lofts it downfield. Rager makes a catch. What a circus catch as he reached out, beat man coverage. He beat Damon Arnett. And the Frogs trying to answer quickly.
Ohio State man free. They brought 2 linebackers on a blitz. They're going to go fast tempo here. Rager's arguably their best receiver. What an effort with the one hand to go up, make the play, and continue downfield. He almost takes that to the house.
And now the throw right into traffic, almost intercepted by Draymond Jones. It hit him in the chest.
Now, Nick Bosa gets so much credit. You'll see him rush from the left. He gets in there pretty quickly, but Draymond Jones is figuring, hey guys, it's going to be tough as how fast they're getting the ball out. I'm going to keep my eyes on Robinson, the quarterback, and try to time it up, go up, and try to knock the ball down. I think he was surprised it hit him right in the chest.
Big dude, but very twitchy, quick for a defensive tackle. 2nd and 10. Robinson spun away, looked like he wanted to do a shovel pass. That was just clogged up, had no chance. As it is, he'll pick up about 3.
A great job of recognizing that. You see Tough Borland right here. He'll come in. You also see Bosa involved. Bosa kind of takes the quarterback. Look at Borland take the back. He was very fortunate to recognize that, spin out of it, and pick up some positive yards. Give him a chance here. Make 3rd down a little bit more manageable.
3rd and 7. This is very fringe field goal range for Cole Bunce, who's already missed 1 tonight. Olanalua is the back. Bunch of Buckeyes at the line. They bring the pressure. Robinson downfield. And it's incomplete. A flag comes in. Damon Arnett was covering Jalen Austin. It'll be interference. Ohio State vigorously protesting the call.
The call is right here at the end where you're
pass interference. Defense, number 3. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Anytime you're preventing a player, a wide receiver, from getting to the football, you're going to get called for pass interference. Arnett's frustrated by it, but at the very end there, he kind of had his arm locked up. You could make a case that the receiver was pushing back, but that's definitely on Arnett, preventing the receiver from getting downfield to get to the ball.
Second defensive penalty in Ohio State in this series sets up TCU first and goal. And the Buckeye crowd making it tough on the team from Texas's offense here. We're not in Columbus, but it sounds like it. Option look. Anderson hit hard and slung out of bounds. A frustrated tackle by Malik Harrison there.
That's a great answer to so much man-to-man coverage from Ohio State. You got a quarterback that can run. They attack Nick Bosa, take him out because he takes the quarterback, and then you pitch it, and you can't get to the alley because the corner's locked up man-to-man on the wide receiver. Remember, they got down to the 13-yard line, could not put it in. Settled for a field goal in their first possession, ended up missing it.
Second and goal. Robinson retreating, fires end zone high over the head of Jalen Reagor.
Got to be careful throwing back against your body. Throws back over the middle of that defense. Reagor at 5'11", just not quite able to go up and make a play. It sets up another third down deep in Ohio State territory. You got to figure they're going to come after him and again play man-to-man on the outside. Be surprised if they don't try a pick off to the right.
3 receivers to that right side. Kurt, Alana Lua is the back. And they give it up the middle, and Alana Lua dives and scores. TCU answers. A 78-yard drive. Great run-pass mix.
How about that call? Third down. The offensive line has their hands full against that offensive line, but they spread them out, get the numbers favorable. The left tackle actually goes into a pass protection mode, which forces Nick Bosa to go around him and rush the quarterback. Progressive pylon cam shows that he gets into the end zone, but Sonny Cumbie with a great call there to take Bosa out of the play, and he gets the touchdown.
And the extra points just slides through. So the big play to Reagor, the penalty in Ohio State's crucial, and it's Alana Lua breaking the plane.
Cassidy Hubbard in studio with DirecTV. More for your college football thing. And number 22 USC taking on Texas in Austin for the first time since 1966. Stephen Carr says, I'll just take the straightaway right up the middle. Trojans up 7-3 in the first. Chris, Herbie, Maria, back to you.
All right, Cassidy, thank you. What a wild first 10 minutes here. Ohio State with the defensive score, and then TCU quickly moves the ball 84 yards in 7 plays. Keep an eye on Sean Robinson. He went in the athletic trainer's tent on the far side after that possession. Cole Bunce to kick it off. They brought in Jonathan Song to kick the PAT. Bunce this time does get it in the end zone before it goes out of bounds. Oh, check this out. Young Dwayne Haskins paid a visit in 08 to the Ohio State football complex, and he declared his dream right then and there.
Dwayne,
yeah.
What you think about Ohio State?
This is awesome. I'm going to college here.
You going to college? Now, if you come to Ohio State, what position you going to play?
Quarterback.
All right.
He knew what he wanted. Wearing number 7, the same headband that he wears these days. Grew up in New Jersey. Moved down to Maryland, Potomac, Maryland. The Bullis School was a private school where he played his high school football, but he knew what he wanted early in life, Kurt.
Yeah,
it's about like you. Dobbins, the Texas native, bangs out near the 30.
He was a youngster. He said Troy Smith in the Ohio State offense. They were putting up some big numbers when he was at that age. He had some family that lived in that area, and he'd come up from time to time. And
How about the fact that he had number 7 on?
That's incredible.
And that white headband.
Incredible.
Handoff inside. Dobbins spinning free, making people miss, and a tough run for a first down across the 40. Nico Small stopped him.
Well, it is a good battle at the line of scrimmage when Ohio State's running the football. Like we've talked about, they're going to blitz those safeties and linebackers. They're trying to run downhill. The problem is if you miss at the line of scrimmage, there's nobody at the second level. So now the running back, in this case it's Dobbins, is all the way 10, 12 yards downfield at that third level.
Considered TCU as a Texan from LaGrange. It was his first offer as a sophomore, but eventually, of course, heading to Columbus. He's got it again. You can see the shimmy and the shake, and Dobbins stretches into TCU territory for a first down.
He's got such great quickness in the hole, able to make people miss. So you don't have to sustain your block very long. He makes the linebacker miss there, makes the safety miss. Good low center of gravity to go along with that quickness. You know, Ohio State starts to run the ball, and those safeties start to come down. The great compliment now with Haskins is you start worrying about that run game, they're going to throw it downfield on you.
Looks like a first down throw. They throw it short, and making the catch is Terry McLaurin, co-captain. Reliable, excellent blocker, all-around receiver.
In a very different way. You know, when Trace McSorley had Saquon Barkley in their running game, you had to be so concerned. They got so much attention. But if you really watch Penn State, they can complement it by throwing it downfield. That's kind of how Ohio State is now.
Dobbins had to sidestep traffic in the backfield and a gain to the 40. Ben Bannigu got there quickly. It'll be 3rd and 1.
And again, I don't mean the scheme is the same. I mean the thought process. Boy, with Barkley, Saquon Barkley, and with Trace McSorley, you had to worry about that run game, and then they can throw it downfield. That's what Ohio State can do here.
Got a shotgun. Paris Campbell, the receiver. It was a wrinkle there. Some miscommunication between Campbell and Dobbins, and it's a
13,
false start.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You got Rashad Berry. Now it's 3rd and 6. Well, we see that all over college football, Kirk. Yeah. They go to the Wildcat, the wrinkle, and so often things like this happen.
Well, you lose your rhythm. You know, all of a sudden you try to go with a little bit of a change up, and often it works, but some cases you see it not. And this changes things for Ryan Day, who, you know, last year he was a compliment to Kevin Wilson. We talked so much about him being the interim head coach. He's calling the plays as well as the offensive coordinator for this team.
They've outsmarted themselves on that. I saw it 5 times today. They go to the Wildcat, and there's some kind of miscue. On 3rd and 6, Haskins gets pressured, delivers a throw incomplete, way over McLaurin's head, and he got lit up by Ty Summers off the edge.
Again, bringing the pressure, occupying the offensive lineman. This time they come to Haskins is right. Summers is right here. He has the ability to get here, but what helps him is bringing the other linebacker to be able to take both the guard and the tackle, and there's nobody there to pick up Ty Summers. And again, you don't get to him, you don't get the sack, but you force him to throw the ball a little bit sooner than maybe he wanted to.
How impressive is Summers? High school quarterback, thought he was going to go play quarterback for Rice. Then Gary Patterson said, I see you as a linebacker / safety. Now he's played defensive end too. Captain America, the teammates call.
I love when you said that. You said that without knowing the players call that. We sat down with him for about 20 or 30 minutes, and he's one of those guys when he walks out of your room, you're like, man, I hope my son grows up to be like this guy. I mean, he's about as impressive a guy as you're going to meet.
What an athlete, 4.5 40. Ran a 10.9 100 meters in high school. Also, triple jump, long jump, through the shot put. He could do it all.
Man, but what you said about his approach to the game, here's a senior. He wants to play middle linebacker. They say, oh, we got some guys that are out. We need you to move to defensive end. No problem, coach. Put me down there. Moves to end. Now he's back playing linebacker, kind of his home position tonight because of L.J. Collier being back in the lineup.
What a beautiful night. Looked a little hot for you guys on game day this morning in Fort Worth. It's cooled down tonight, though.
Just a little.
Robinson, after going in the tent, came out fine. Looks to be okay in the game. And it's Turpin on the jet sweep. Cavante Turpin, blazing speed. Contained on the sideline, but it's a nice first down game.
Lonalulu leading the way, picked up a block there to help him get to the edge. Picked up a block on Pete Werner. Here they go again with that fast pace.
2nd and 4 in reverse. Rager on the end around makes a cut. A lot of window dressing for a 4-yard gain. Bosa tackled him right there. And they'll move the 6.
Yeah, Bosa and the rest of that defense actually stayed home. See them getting outside there. Chase Young outside, but Bosa has the quickness. I think Bosa's game has changed because he used to be known in his first 2 years as a guy that would come in and be an outstanding pass rusher, which he obviously is. But, man, he is outstanding now at reading and feeling things, getting more and more reps, and now he's dominant against the run as well. But they do pick up the first down there. Good running by Rager.
Handoff in the middle is clogged. Very short gain by Anderson. Robert Landers, kind of that sawed-off tackle, made the play.
He's the guy everybody forgets about up there with Bosa and Jones and Young. Landers out of Dayton, Ohio, went to Huber Heights, Wayne. He's kind of a junkyard dog there in the middle, has great quickness.
Every Ohio State player on defense has amazing measurables, like a beautiful looking out. He's the one guy, right, junkyard dog looking guy. The man
He makes a lot of plays.
He does. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. And Robinson looks to throw back near side. It's Turpin. A huge block at the line of scrimmage. But a short game, man. Who came back and threw that block? That was Austin Myers, the tackle out there.
We've got a running start to go after the corner, Arnett. TCU subs players in Ohio State. One of the few times we've seen them able to get some players on the field on third down.
Well, if you like the action fast and furious, that was the first quarter for you. 280+ total yards, a defensive score for Ohio State, and an impressive touchdown drive by TCU. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Begin the second quarter. TCU facing a 3rd and 3. I don't know if they can keep it up, Kurt, but they're at a 100-play pace tonight. They ran 24 plays in the first quarter, 12 runs and 12 passes.
And averaging over 6 yards a play.
Got 154 yards total offense. There's an option look, and the pitch to the edge. Olanolua makes the turn and shows that power. He is a freak in the weight room, and he's moved the sticks to the 36.
But watch them seal here. But again, you get man-to-man. You want to get to quarterback and your running back out to the outside. Look at the corner, man-to-man. It gives you a nice alley.
Olanolua's got it again. He's a tall back, 6'3". Kirk, he squats 770, benches 425, cleans 460, has a 40-inch vertical.
I mean, when you meet him and you know Gary Patterson's program, you shake his hand, you're thinking running back. how quick did Gary? How long did it take for him to try to move you to defensive end? I mean, he's a perfect example of a guy he would recruit. But we saw him in a weight room yesterday. He said, "No way."
Yeah, I want no part of that.
I've been a running back my whole life.
He's also got great hands. He got too much skill.
He does.
On that side. Darius Anderson replaces him at 2nd and 9. And they flip it to Anderson in the flat, who spins away. Nice move to avoid charging Jeffrey Okudah. It'll be 3rd down and short again.
Olanolulu and Anderson with their size, 6'3", 231, and Anderson at 212. It's not as if Anderson's a scat back. I mean, he's still 212 pounds and can lower his shoulder. But I think they complement each other very well.
Sonny Cumbie has a big toolbox to use here on down a distance like this. 3rd and 3. Olanolua is the back. 2 receivers split wide to each side. Play clock, got to hurry. It's down at 3. They just get it off. Olanolua this time will not get first down yardage. Stop at the 44. And it's 4th down.
Very similar call that they scored the touchdown on, but Tuck Borland makes the play. He battled through an Achilles injury in the offseason and has come back the last couple weeks, and you're seeing tonight taking on even a bigger role. That is a great play to take on the block and then lower the shoulder and take on the big back at 230 pounds.
6 guys voted captain said that, you know what, we want Borland to be another captain, even though he's a sophomore. It says a lot. Nunez, first punt of the night on the run. Very effective. This guy has made a specialty throughout his career of pinning opponents deep inside the 10-yard line. This one rolls down at the 5. 51 yards of the punt. Ohio State back to work up by a field goal. Make it official next Saturday, ESPN's College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, headed to Eugene, Oregon. Tough wake-up call, always a fun environment. Then Saturday Night Football, headed by Wells Fargo in Eugene. Pac-12 North crucial game. Stanford Cardinal against the Ducks. We hope Bryce Love will be able to return.
Old school, man. That's going back. Eugene on a Saturday night. Love that.
Ohio State from the 5. And Weber is hit and dropped for a loss. But TCU has been aggressive. Ennis Gaines has been in the backfield a lot so far.
This defense is following the leader, Gary Patterson. So much fun to watch him coach. You talk about a hands-on coach. You know, he's lost the play sheet that hangs off his belt. Now
he just big sign there, though. Look at the sign.
He's got the signs. He's got the wristband. But he gets his defense attacking downhill against the run game. They may be smaller, but they are aggressive.
Man, are they fast.
And they give you a lot of different looks.
2nd and 11. Haskins from the end zone flips it to Weber, who makes a fingertip catch, but is knocked down after a short gain. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
3rd down has been a problem for Ohio State. They're 0 for 3, and it's because of this scheme. They have come after him. You know, these first 2 weeks, he's not seen this kind of pressure on 3rd downs, but they're occupying the linemen, keeping one man free. And again, I'll say it again, they're doing it different ways, which affects the communication on the offensive line.
Patterson over there gesticulating, getting his guys to adjust on the fly. He loves this kind of chess match on 3rd down. Haskins pressured again. They flip it to Weber. It's a screen. A great call against this blitz, and it's a 1st down across the 25.
They end up calling the right call. They brought the blitz. They took a chance. Pressure here. They drop here, and Ohio State gets the ball to the outside where there's nobody left. See that middle linebacker coming? Get the ball out to the outside, and they got linemen downfield blocking.
And Victor, the receiver, downfield blocking as well as Weber busts a run out across the 40. It's Ohio State's best running play tonight.
Ohio State going fast themselves, giving TCU some of their medicine.
17-yard gain.
Wallow. You see the linebackers there. Summers also some risky defense.
Haskins, no receiver, and has to throw it away. Knocked down after the throw, and here comes a flag. It'll be unnecessary roughness. Joseph Broadnax hit him a bit late. And Patterson, kind of mental error, will drive him crazy.
Defense, number 54, shoving their quarterback to the ground after the play's over. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
As a senior should know better.
Well, yeah, and they have coverage. It's a coverage sack potentially. You know, there's nobody open. They flush him for the first time tonight, and then I mean, you can't do that.
Right arm to the chest was what got him.
And if he just would have maybe just pushed him, it would have been okay. But he throws him down to the ground right in front of the referee. The referee didn't hesitate. And it was one of the few times that Gary Patterson's crew downfield took away all the receivers. Haskins had nowhere to go with the ball.
Patterson in a full lather. 43-yard line. Ohio State set up, a lot of window dressing. It's Campbell on the end around, and the Frogs flush it out and drop him for a loss back near midfield. Well, school defense. Michael Epley, the backup end, was there.
You know, it's well schooled is a great term to use, because look at the defense. Look how they're running out towards Paris Campbell, not biting at all on the fake up the middle to Mike Weber. As soon as they saw the formation, it's almost they knew what was coming. That's great preparation by the Horned Frogs.
Weber split wide to the left, empty backfield on 2nd and 16. After the loss, the Buckeyes offense slowing the tempo a bit. Play clock to 5. Play clock at 2. Haskins from the pocket delivers an accurate dart. Once again, it's dropped by Austin Mack. 2nd drop tonight for the normally steady junior.
In the first series, that was the matchup that they went after. Austin Mack had 3 opportunities back into that boundary against Lewis. Lewis now checks out of the game. You can see that Gary Patterson was a little frustrated with him and sets up a 3rd down and long. But Mack had it. I mean, that was a big gain. He just let it go through his hands.
Remember, he had the drop in the end zone.
Yeah.
Ohio State's opening possession, which set up a field goal. Frogs fans turn to try to make some noise on 3rd down. Timeout called by Ohio State.
Their first timeout of the half.
See what Ryan Day is thinking on this 3rd and very long from midfield.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Wells Fargo on ABC, is brought to you by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And Courtyard by Marriott, the official hotel of the NFL.
TCU's only win in the previous 6 games came in 57 in the Horseshoe. Jack Spikes, fullback, has scored the touchdown. One of the honorary captains tonight for TCU, along with Lanadian Tomlinson. So after the timeout, Kirk, a 3rd and 16 for Haskins near midfield. Weber is the back. TCU brings some pressure, but Haskins has good protection and delivers downfield. It is broken up. Getting in front of McLaurin. Pass broken up by Noah Daniels, 4th down.
Yeah, and I think he got his left hand on the football. McLaurin trying to work his way back to the ball. Again, well thrown football. See that left hand? Yep, got his left hand in there and actually got the hand of McLaurin that knocked the ball away. It's tight coverage there, and knowing where the first down marker is by Daniels. Smart play.
A freshman who's got track speed, still learning the craft, but a big future at that corner position. Turpin is deep. Crispin does not want to give him a chance to return it. Great coverage. Urban Meyer coordinates the special teams. It's down inside the 5. His plan, send 4 fast gunners down there, punt the ball to the boundary, try to take Turpin out of the game. It's worked so far. Taco Bell celebrating student sections and passionate fans like these by awarding the best student section of the year. TCU on the watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. 2nd smallest school by enrollment in FBS. Only Wake Forest has fewer students.
Actually moved the ball out to the 7-yard line. They looked at the replay at the break, and Johnny Dixon's heel touched the ball at the 7.
A little more breathing room for Robinson in this offense from his end zone. Lofts it downfield looking for Ragar. And no flag. He wanted one. Good coverage by Kendall Sheffield, one of the 7 Texans on this Ohio State team.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost his footing. You live on an island. You play corner at Ohio State. They've sent a lot of guys to the NFL. You're going to live on an island. You could see them both using their hands there, which is fine. And then he just lost his footing.
Sheffield
did not force him to the ground.
Played junior college ball at Blinn Junior College here in Texas. Comes from Missouri City. Robinson 10 of 14 now, faces a 2nd and 10. Handoff. Anderson has a crease. Darius Anderson has the sidelines. Can they catch him? No, they cannot. And TCU takes the lead. Wow, what a lightning strike.
Big time play by this offense. Backed up inside their own 10-yard line. And a well-designed play by Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator, to get the look that he wanted.
Had a foot injury, missed 4 games last year. When he's healthy, you see why his nickname is Jet. Jonathan Song has been brought on. He's taken the 2 PATs tonight after Bunce missed the field goal. Song, one of the kickers last year.
They motion Tay Barber's going to go here. When he goes, it's going to affect the Ohio State secondary. They're eventually going to have 3 wide receivers off to the right. So now you've got 3 guys. You have 2 more out here. Now look at the look that you have back in here. The center's going to get up and make a block. Everybody else is man-to-man. Nobody is left because of the formation to pick up Darius Anderson. A poor angle by Isaiah Pryor. He was the only one, the safety, that could have made that play. So it's one thing to look at the execution, but Sonny Cumbie deserves a lot of credit for using that formation, get the Ohio State defense in the spot that he wanted them, and it came down to a one-on-one play between Anderson and Pryor takes the poor angle, and Anderson takes it to the house.
Talked about the 2 youthful play callers, both 30-somethings, Ryan Day and Sonny Cumbie against veteran defensive coordinators. Another great call by Cumbie. And TCU, Kirk, they got 262 yards of offense, 9 minutes until halftime. Dixon from the 2. Straight up the field. And hurdling guys finally caught from behind, but a nice return out near the 40-yard line.
Sometimes we watch these games and we think, boy, what a great play call. But sometimes what we overlook is just a simple thing about the formation and how the defense responds to that. He clearly saw something earlier in this game, used that motion to get them positioned in a certain way, and then went back into the boundary for a one-on-one matchup with his back against the safety prior.
TCU offense, they came out in that rain-delayed game against SMU, and they struggled. They really didn't look very good in the first half. They have lit up Ohio State tonight so far.
First time really this year Ohio State's faced adversity with Haskins. How do they respond?
Dobbins breaks a tackle. And so stiff arm. Boy, you can see how shifty he is. He's out to midfield. And strong, too, by the way.
Yeah, it's that combination of the suddenness with the power. Put some time into the weight room. You can see how he shakes people. He gets off of arm tackles, but the lateral quickness and shakes makes it tough on a defender to really zero in on his hips and try to make a tackle in the open space.
Number 2 in Big Ten rushing at 600-yard games as a freshman, the Ohio State record. He's got it again. This time they smother him, they pick him up and drop him down. Ohio State fans didn't like the look of that. That was big Joseph Broadnex, who had the penalty earlier, and flirting with one again.
Broadnex plays right on the edge as a veteran. It cost him earlier 15 yards. And, you know, you pick up a player like that, you body slam him to the ground, it can be another 15 yards. They've got the momentum right now. He does not want to make a mental error.
Haskins on 2nd and 7. From the pocket, delivers into traffic. Nice catch by K.J. Hill. Well defended, but it's a first down.
Boy, this is a clinic on a young receiver watching this. Watch how 14 out to the left works back to the ball. He got up and came back to the football, which is why he made that play and prevented the defender from getting a hand on the ball.
And smashed in the backfield is Dobbins. By the way, Ennis Gaines, their leader back there in the secondary, the safety, limped off the field. They're taking a look at him.
Boy, and he has been active. He has been all over the field. Kind of a hybrid at 6'2", 203 pounds. He plays that strong safety spot, which is down in the box in this scheme a lot. And he has been in that backfield against the run quite a bit. Let's hope he's okay.
And he sure has. Dobbins into traffic, breaks free. And called Jake Kalen. You can call him JK. Making a big impact in his home state.
Well, how about the leg drive here to be able to get off of Evans 7. The middle linebacker gets his hands on him. Right there he wrapped up and he gets out of that. Good hustle by Isaiah Prince trying to look for somebody downfield. But again, tough running tonight from what we're seeing from J.K. Dobbins.
Comes from LaGrange, which is south of here, sort of east of Austin. He's got it again. Cuts back. Dobbins. Blocks on the edge, lowers the shoulder and bangs down inside the 15. Another first down.
On paper, coming into this game, there was a clear advantage if you looked at it with the size of Ohio State's offensive line and their running game against a smaller TCU attack. Just wondered if their blitzing scheme would be able to get into the backfield. And when it does, it's a loss of 2. And when it doesn't, it's a gain of about 10.
7th play of the drive coming up. Been fueled by that ground game, and Dobbins is in there again. Got it again. And that time they hit him low and knock him down for a 1-yard gain. Bidwan Isahaku made the play.
They are 7 plays, 48 yards, 6 Dobbin runs. So the message after the adversity that I talked about when this drive started, clearly from Ryan Day was, hey boys, we're going to go out there and we're going to lean on that line and the running of Dobbins.
Ennis Gaines, the safety, back in for the Horned Frogs on this 2nd and 9 play. Haskins fakes it to Dobbins, fires for the end zone, and almost intercepted on the carom. Coming back for the ball was Isahaku. Noah Daniels was in coverage.
This kid's playing tonight. Daniels, the freshman, again, he's been in there for Lewis, back into the boundary. They've been attacking the boundary. What I love is to see Lewis get his head turned as he got close to the goal line. He knows that the back shoulder fade's a possibility, so he's anticipating it, slows down, and makes a great play on the ball.
You mentioned the Buckeyes' struggles on 3rd down. Now they're at 1 of 5 tonight. They need 9. Play clock winding down. Haskins, they pick up the pressure. A slant, incomplete. Looking for a flag was Dixon. Gains in coverage, and no penalty. 4th down.
He's in the middle there, one-on-one. Gaines, who just checks back in. He looks like he may have held on to his hips there. That's a reaction from the crowd here. That's, what do you think, 70-30 maybe? 60-40? What do you think?
I think Ohio State's got the best 65-35, and they're all on their feet. Everybody's on their feet. As Nürnberger attempts one for 30 yards. And woo, just got it inside that left upright. It was close. But the Buckeyes, 10-play, 48-yard drive, cut the TCU lead to 1. It's a beautiful warm evening in Arlington. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. When you put in the hours, the reps, and the heart, nothing can keep you from being blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven. Just zoom through that window here into this packed house. A lot of purple, but even more scarlet and gray. And the TCU fans, almost a 2-touchdown underdog tonight. It's a position that Patterson savors and excels in. Got the 1-point lead. Fast and furious first half. And it'll be a touchback. Chris Fallica, the Bear, has the Affleck trivia question. I'm going to ask how his picks are doing so far before we get to the question, though.
We're 1-1 on the board, and we got a couple of underdogs hanging around. UL Monroe surviving the 78-yard blocked field goal return. But as both of you college football historians know, 1938 Heisman Trophy winner Davey O'Brien played at TCU. Of course, Davey O'Brien Award now goes to the top quarterback in the country. Who's the only Ohio State quarterback to win the Davey O'Brien Award?
I would have to say Troy Smith would be a strong candidate.
I think it's a trick question.
He's a landslide Heisman winner
maybe
that
a
year.
Joe Germain or a Bobby Hoying.
I'll give you a second to think about it. TCU, first down throw from Robinson. It's a slant, and the catch is made by Jalen Austin. All right, Bear, this is too up-tempo to wait around.
You got to go, Bear. Go fast.
Tonight's answer for the Affleck trivia question, you got it right. It is Troy Smith. I didn't try to do any trickeration there.
Okay.
Smith, the 2006 Heisman winner, won the Davey O'Brien Award.
Won everything.
Beaten by Urban Meyer, Gators in the national championship.
Oh, I got a trivia question for you after this play, Bear. Don't go away. There's a throw and a drop over there, in and out of the hands of Tay Barber. You know the longest running play in TCU history? Do you know who has that?
My guess is it's not LaDainian Tomlinson.
He had the record.
That would be too easy.
He had the record until Darius Anderson's 93-yard run broke the TCU record. Longest run from scrimmage.
Longest offensive play allowed in school history by Ohio State.
That surprises me. They played football a lot of years. 3rd and 3. Under pressure, Robinson escapes. He can take off a very dangerous runner. First down and then some as he spins out of the 45. First time you've seen him really escape the pocket tonight, Kurt.
Yeah, it's one thing to rush 4, but the linebackers better be able to play in space because you're going to see Robinson can run. He can avoid. He picks up a nice block there by Turpin. But those linebackers there, Browning and Harrison, don't look quick enough to be able to handle his escapability on 3rd down. They need to move somebody in there a little bit quicker if they're going to spy with him.
Known as a very good tackling defense, Damon Arnett has had a tough first half. Whiffed on that one. There's a slant, and the catch is made by Stewart. Jarrison Stewart, the H-back.
It's one of those RPOs where the slot receiver's left alone. He just fires the ball out there to the inside receiver.
It's another first down to the Ohio State 45. Take it to Alanalua. Quarterback swarmed and dropped for a 4-yard loss. Draymond Jones and Jonathan Cooper got there in a hurry.
He wanted to go right back to that, but that time Ohio State actually baited him. He wanted to come back to that slot receiver, but a late movement here, see that? Takes it away, so then he tries to pull it down and run, and Ohio State's there with Cooper with the pressure.
Rarely has TCU been behind the sticks. Now it's 2nd and 14. Trying to add to this lead before halftime. And he will get the football to start the 3rd quarter.
Look at the balance there with the play calling.
Lanalua, Howard, short gain Jordan Fuller filled from the safety to combine with Landers. It'll be 3rd down and very long. So now they'll slow it down just a little bit. Try to leave Ohio State less time on the clock if they don't make the first down. Third down tonight, the Frogs 4 of 6.
Got a one-on-one matchup at the bottom. They've been throwing behind the receivers in these matchups.
It's Rager to the right, looking that way. Deep ball. Rager overthrown. He had Arnett by a step. Robinson missed him.
You know, you get these one-on-one matchups, he's going to try to find his man, and Rager is his guy. I've been mentioning he's tendency to throw the ball behind and get that back shoulder fade. This time he relies on Rager to just outrun Arnett.
Little handsy there. We've seen DBs on both sides as Arnett had his hand on the shoulder pad of Rager.
Yep. We saw on the other side in the end zone there against Johnny Dixon when Gaines had his hands on Dixon. They're kind of letting them play tonight.
ACC crew in this technically neutral field game. Nunez punched it away quickly, very high, and the fair catch made at the 10-yard line. Once again, Ohio State will be backed up 2:41 before halftime. Kick off your NFL Week 2 Sunday, 10 Eastern on ESPN. Sunday NFL Countdown crew will have all the breaking news, injury updates, preview each game right down to kickoff. Like everything else, it's on the ESPN app. James Conner's incredible journey featured tomorrow, battling cancer at Pitt. Breakout performance last week with the Steelers.
Dobbins, I'm sorry, Chris. I was just going to say Dobbins out. Weber in here, just a little under 3 minutes to go for Ohio State with 2 timeouts.
It's a low snap. Haskins delivered the high throw, and the catch is made in traffic by Dixon. They pick up 5. Ryan Day's an aggressive play caller, aggressive personality, isn't he?
He sure is. He's got a lot of confidence in Haskins to be able to call it. You want to be aggressive. He's going to come in with an aggressive mindset.
Haskins 9 of 17 for 129 so far. There's a handoff for Weber, who picks his way. It's a first down gain out across the 20. 2-10 and counting as they move the chains now.
Yeah, as quick as these offenses can move down the field, there's really no need to abandon the run and just drop back and sling it around. It's good to keep this defense honest, especially after the last drive where they had a lot of success controlling that line of scrimmage and running the ball with Dobbins.
Now Haskins from the pocket slings it far side. It's Dixon who makes the catch. He's tackled after a 10-yard gain. Should be another first down across the 30.
We've talked a lot about Haskins, but this wide receiving group has really grown up over the last couple years. You know, Brian Hartline, now former NFL player, former Buckeye, now the receiver coach.
Hill makes the catch, makes the cut. He took over the job when Zach Smith, who was the receiver coach, was fired for those allegations of domestic abuse.
You can see he's yelling, get out of bounds. But this group as a whole, they've played a lot of ball, and now they've grown up to be juniors and seniors.
Second and short. Another drop by Mack. Boy, he had a tough night. That's 3. They still have the 2 timeouts to work with. Don't need to be frenetic at this point, but it's 3rd and 2.
Notice how Brian Hartline didn't even say anything to him. You know, it's almost like a shortstop that misses a ground ball or 2. You start to talk about it too much, and it really starts to get into the mind of the receiver. He's already battling that. It's not just dropping the ball, it's worrying about dropping the ball, that's maybe having a negative impact on him.
He made that clutch catch against Michigan last year when Haskins came off the bench. Weber spun free, and that second effort got him the first down. He was hit in the backfield and refused to go down.
He got his hand down. He got his right hand down. I don't think he ever touched the ground. What an effort here. He's up. Yeah, his backside never touched. He got his right hand down. Officials kept the play going.
And that's a huge pickup.
That's a first down on a big 3rd and short.
And now they flip it to Weber in the flat. Can he get out of bounds? Yes, he'll step out with exactly 1 minute before halftime.
Tony Alford, their running back coach, told me on the field today that he said that he's been so impressed, not just with Mike Weber, but J.K. Dobbins and how they have pushed each other. He said they have become such great practice players because they're fighting for playing time. It's really had a good vibe of helping them both play better.
They pick up the pressure. Another quick throw. McLaurin spinning into TCU territory at the 45. Clock stopped momentarily. 52 seconds left. He's in great rhythm. Boy, he operates this tempo offense incredibly well, Haskins. He's most comfortable playing fast, isn't he?
He sure is. I mean, he's a rhythmic passer, and when he has a chance to be able to get you a little bit on your heels and get the ball out, in a hurry, that's what he's going to do, and that was what he's been able to do here on this drive.
543 yards with perhaps more to come before halftime. This has been an offensive show with these two young, aggressive play callers getting the better of the defenses so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so fast. You can see the numbers tonight. Kind of feels like it's going to come down to a game where which quarterback avoids the mistake, who's going to execute in the red zone and come away with touchdowns instead of field goals. But it's an offensive game. I mean, both these teams kind of going up and down the field so far.
Yeah, a lot of playmakers, excellent running backs on both sides. We've seen them make plays so far. Now Haskins and Ohio State trotting out there. Are they thinking field goal, take the lead, or they're thinking end zone
I think
here?
They're still thinking about trying to get points. I mean, they're still going to probably take some shots and eventually maybe have to settle for a field goal, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them still be aggressive.
Haskins retreating and just lobs it into the TCU bench. There was nobody open, and he was being pressured off the edge by Banagou. There's a flag down.
Holding. Offense. Number 11. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Austin Mack's tough first half continues, Kirk.
Well, he started fast on that first drive, but he's coming down inside off the corner blitz and just grabs onto Gladney.
Out on the edge, the officials are going to spot that most of the time.
Yeah, and now you talked about what are they going to do. Before they might have been thinking about trying to attack downfield. Now they're trying to just get into field goal range.
44 seconds and 2 timeouts remaining. See if the Frogs bring pressure. They do. It's a low snap. Haskins fires sideline. Jump ball broken up. Just had to wait on the ball, and Victor well defended there.
Ball, if he throws this downfield, it's probably a touchdown. This is a great little stutter and go by Benjamin Victor. He beats him completely. He's downfield, and he's got a chance to go by Vernon Scott. Ball's underthrown. It brings him back to the ball, and that's where Scott gets his hands on it. 2nd and 20.
There's a short throw and a catch made inbounds by Johnny Dixon, and Ohio State will certainly have to spend the first of their 2 remaining timeouts. Noah Daniels in tight coverage. There's some delay in getting the clock stopped, and now a scuffle. Weber involved in a conversation with L.J. Collier of TCU. Gary Patterson just trying to get his defense. He's way out in the numbers here, trying to get his guys huddled up. He does not want a mental mistake. But Ohio State's backed up on 3rd and long. He's a treat. I love Gary Patterson. Over the years, you have conversations with coaches who have a lot of interest outside of football. He and his wife Kelsey, they're scuba divers. They love to go on safari, take pictures. He's got guitars. He's a singer. But defense is his #1 passion, I would say.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's an intense coach. He loves to be involved, obviously, in the defense. And over the years, he has as good a reputation as any coach in the country defensively. He doesn't always get the 5 stars either. I mean, he's made a name for himself playing with a lot of 2 stars and gets them to really play with a chip on their shoulders.
Getting more and more high recruits, though. He's beating people like Texas and Texas A&M now on some players. It's a 3-man rush on 3rd and 16. Haskins has time and delivers a strike. It's K.J. Hill. It's a first down inside the 35. An enormous pitch and catch. 22 seconds left now.
Boy, K.J. Hill gets separation and just is able to pull away a mismatch. He has Evans on him as a linebacker. I know he asks these linebackers to do a lot.
Now they buzz down. May want to take a look.
The ball being snapped. The previous play of a completion is under review.
Hill looked like he just got the toe down inbounds before landing. Let's check it again. Catch made here. Controls it. Yeah, he's got that foot well down.
Unless they're talking about maybe the
yeah.
ball after the catch. That's the only thing you could really even know. I mean, it's a clean catch.
And buzzing down, it gives both sides a chance to take a breather here. Both sides trying to stay hydrated. You got 20 seconds. The ball's on the TCU 33. Ohio State 1 timeout left. Nürnberger in field goal range right now, sort of fringe field goal range if they don't move it closer. Ohio State has motored 57 yards in 11 quick plays.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
With the way that first and second down went, that is huge play there on third to give them even a shot here at a field goal. The route was outstanding, and again, once again, Haskins in rhythm puts the ball right where Hill can make a play on it.
Hill targeted 4 times and made 4 catches for 57 yards. They can still work the middle of the field. They have that timeout to use.
And with the accuracy of Haskins, wouldn't be surprised if you take a shot if you see a one-on-one matchup you like. Gary Patterson calls a timeout late.
He loves to make late calls after seeing what he thinks the offense is going to do. He's pretty good at predicting opponents' plays.
He called a timeout because Markel Simmons, as a senior, not getting the right call. He wants to make sure they're in the right coverage.
Take a look at the AP rankings brought to you by Allstate. Ohio State comes in at number 4. Alabama gave up a score in the first play, right? And then
yeah, they
scored
did.
59 unanswered.
And after that, they could score 100 tonight if they wanted. Have that game on up here. It's incredible, their execution.
Wisconsin took a loss, a potential game-tying field goal that would have forced overtime, just missed, and Auburn loses on a walk-off field goal by LSU, a home loss for the Auburn Tigers.
LSU are going to start they're going to start to climb, and they should climb in the rankings. How about Notre Dame? Caught a break at home today. Vanderbilt leaving a lot of points on that field. They had a chance to win in South Bend today. Gave Notre Dame all they could handle.
Reset the game clock at 23 seconds now. Pressure picked up initially, but then Haskins hit as he throws by Ben Banigou. Did not want to take a sack there. At least he got rid of it.
It's a good matchup. Banigou has the ability to get inside because he is so quick. Isaiah Prince, who has improved as an offensive tackle in pass protection, he's going up against maybe the best pass rusher in the Big 12.
Smart to get rid of it. There was no receiver close, but they're not going to call grounding on that play. And now the downfield shot for Mack, who is defended by 2 Horned Frogs. Gladney broke it up, no flag. 13 seconds to play.
Well, Gladney actually got his hand on the ball at the last second. Watch him go look for the ball, right hand right there, goes up and knocks that ball away. See him locate the ball and knock it away. That's a big-time play downfield. That is hard to do 35 yards downfield like that, running full speed.
They tried to go back to Mack, who's had that tough first half.
But I love the confidence that they have in Dwayne Haskins taking those shots.
3rd and 10. Again, it's a low snap. Haskins has time, slings it into traffic. McLaurin makes the catch. It's a first down. It'll stop the clock momentarily. 7 seconds as Day is in a signal the final timeout by Ohio State. Boy, he has been accurate in this first half.
I'm telling you, we saw KJ Hill. Haskins' accuracy is astonishing. Another low snap, but watch McLaurin come back again. Chris, that's the difference between an incompletion, because of the tight coverage there by Nico Small, and an incompletion. Him working himself back to the ball, just like KJ Hill did earlier, and good job of using that bicep to just enough, hold on just enough for the first down.
Birthday guys making plays. McLaurin and KJ Hill celebrating birthdays, along with CJ Saunders, who hasn't yet gotten involved, but first 2 guys having big first halves. So what do you do? 7 seconds to go. You still have to be mindful that you can't be tackled in the field of play here. And they're going to send out Nurnberger. There was some consideration, but too risky. I guess Day felt to try to run another play. So from 38 to put Ohio State in front. And this one will start left and stay left. No good. 2 or 3 for Nurnberger, and TCU is going to take a 1-point lead to the locker room.
Ohio State had a 14-play drive. They moved that ball 69 yards, gave themselves a chance, really a chip shot of a field goal, and the ball just didn't have a good rotation on that. I don't think he hit that clean.
Look at you breaking down kicking. I like the analysis.
Yeah, I usually leave that to Mike Black, the former Boise State kicker up here, who's your spotter.
As a 15-play, 69-yard drive. Both sides have missed field goals here. It was a controversial play. Ohio State got a defensive touchdown on a play that could have been ruled a safety, but wasn't. TCU, a 93-yard touchdown run from Darius Anderson, longest run from scrimmage in school history. Both sides near 300 yards total offense in the first half. Fast and frenetic, Mr. Herbstreit. Gary Patterson will get him a towel, will get him a cold drink, and Maria Taylor will get his reaction. Not the way he usually likes to play halves, but he'll take it as that underdog team has a 1-point lead. Let's go, Maria.
All right, Coach, you forced them into a missed field goal situation in the last series. What have you seen from your defense in the first half?
We haven't allowed a touchdown yet. So, for us, we got to keep battling. We gave up a long corner route. We shouldn't have. But outside of that, we got to tackle.
You said that you were looking forward to the chess match on both sides of the ball. How would you describe this first half?
Oh, yeah, it's wild.
All right, Coach, thank you.
He's lost his voice. Can we get him a new shirt for the second half? Should be another frenetic half coming up from Arlington. End of the first half here. Kevin Nagandi, Mac Brown, Jonathan Vilma coming up right after these messages.
Darius Anderson, 93 yards to the house, longest run in TCU history. You're impressed with the speed.
I really am. If you look at this team right now, they're as fast and physical as Ohio State, and that's a surprise.
TCU with a 1-point lead against Ohio State. Another showdown, top 15 on the Plains. Number 7 Auburn hosting number 12 LSU. Jarrett Stidham, the Darius Slayton. Auburn blew a 20-point lead a year ago to LSU. They were up by 11 points today here, JB.
They were. It's a very evenly matched game. Joe Burrow did a great job for him. It came down to the penalties and turnovers. Jarrett Stidham threw 2 picks today. LSU, 0.
Burrow, the OSU transfer, finding Derek Dillon, another transfer, played the biggest role. From Assumption College, it's Cole Tracy, 42 yards out. It's the difference. LSU, their first road win against the top 10 team since 2011. Eddie-O.
Why did you win this game?
I think this guys were prepared. Coaching staff, one team, one heartbeat. Our guys block out the noise. This is a strong football team in character.
Big win for LSU. Welcome to the studio. Kevin Nagani alongside Mac Brown and Jonathan Velma. Alabama, #1 in the land. They've lost 3 times since 2014 to SEC teams. 2 of them get to Ole Miss. Ole Miss scored 11 seconds into the game. Since then, all tied.
Shouldn't have made them mad. They jumped out there and scored too early. But all the talk about the 2-quarterback system for Nick Saban right now, he has the best quarterback situation in the country.
59 unanswered.
So Ole Miss made them mad by scoring?
Yes, they should have scored first. You should have let them stay quiet. They jumped all over.
2005 BCS National Championship rematch. USC, Texas. Stephen Carr on the ground. Not a lot of ground game here in this one, but SC up by 1 in Austin.
No, it's going to come down to the quarterbacks in that game, Kev.
Number 6 Wisconsin hosting BYU, and their playoff hopes may have come to an end at home. 23.5-point favorites against BYU, but you know what? The Cougars, the physicality, it impressed you guys throughout.
Oh, definitely did. BYU beat Wisconsin at their own game, playing physical, good defense, stopping the run, making the plays that they needed to make at the end, and they got the victory.
Yeah, physical running game, play action pass. That was the deal.
Wisconsin had a chance to tie it up, 42 yards out, no good in the final minute. BYU with the upset. How about the celebration from Coach Satake? Get down.
Ooh, looking like you, Kevin, in the old days, huh?
Yeah, old days. Oh, that was last night. All right. Meanwhile, Nebraska, again in the Big Ten. They paid Troy $1.1 million to play this game, and Troy, a year ago, knocking off LSU on the road, doing things in Lincoln.
Yeah, Troy's got a lot of speed. You cannot let somebody return a punt for a touchdown, especially when you've got a young, inexperienced quarterback because your starter's out and they turn the ball over 3 times.
That's a freshman walk-on, Andrew Bunch, trying to get them back in this game, finding Stanley Morgan and Nebraska within 10.
Nebraska was with 10. They were close the whole time, but one thing you mentioned, Mac, Troy has good players. They have good talent, and with that talent, they were able to sit there, grind the game down, and this was the one that sealed it for him.
Scott Frost, 24-2 as a starting quarterback in Nebraska, now 0-2 as a head coach.
I think we're a better team than what the results say we are, but that doesn't matter. And I just got done telling the team that when things get tough like this, you got two choices. You fight back and you work even harder, or you give up. And also told them if anybody doesn't want to stay on board with this ride with us, let me know now and get off, because I know where this is going. We just haven't had the results early that we need.
Next up for them, Michigan. And Michigan was a 37-point favorite at home against SMU. Slow start, but then Shea Patterson settled down.
Yeah, 14 out of 18, 237 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's getting used and comfortable with this offense.
Michigan with a 25-point win. Ahead, Kyler Murray in his first road start of his college career. How OU kept rolling, and many were counting out Oklahoma State today. The Pokes send a message.
There's no such thing as monsters.
Welcome to Chicago, big boy. Russell Wilson is unflappable.
Don't be scared now.
Kevin, Mac, JV back with you. A lot of talk about Boise State, and I think Oklahoma State heard about it, JV.
They heard about it, and one thing that you can't do is allow special teams to kill you on the road. Boise State, 2 block punts for touchdowns.
Zacharias Green, that touchdown, Oklahoma State winning big. Meanwhile, Oklahoma, Kyler Murray, so good.
Yeah, this has been the Kyler Murray show. 8 TDs this year, 1 interception, 3 of them today, and made plays with his feet. His first start on the road. He's playing at a high level.
3:48 in the air. Army is next for Oklahoma. Watch this, guys. Arkansas paid North Texas $1 million to play this game. Keegan Brewer, fair catch, right? Wrong. He never called it. What happened to Arkansas, JV, on the play?
They rested. You can't do that. If he doesn't fair catch it, you got to tackle the man. It was either a great play call by UNT or Arkansas too scared to get a penalty, so they didn't want to risk it.
Wow, what a big win for North Texas.
And it clearly didn't matter, Kev. Looking at that score.
44-17. Big win for Syracuse, finally knocking off Florida State. What's going on with the Noles and Willie Taggart?
Well, it's Florida State's offense. They're 1 of 14 on third down situations, which means they're not getting close enough to make short third downs.
Dino's house, they celebrate now 3-0 after a 30-7 win. More after this.
The ESPN app, now with ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now.
It's a September game with playoff importance. One of the biggest tests all season. Did you catch your breath at halftime? Welcome back to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Wells Fargo. TCU will get the football, leading 14-13 after a frenetic first half here in AT&T Stadium. Chris Fowler back with Kirk Herbstreit. TCU, a very aggressive approach on both sides of the ball. Kirk, no surprise there. And now for Ohio State, minus their leader, Urban Meyer, sitting out the suspension. Young Ryan Day, interim head coach. It's a test for him and a test for these players who don't have a lot of seniors, and they've had to really grow up. They've had to gain some leadership because of the crisis with Meyer not being there a lot.
Yeah, anytime you lose a head coach like Urban Meyer, this is where you might feel the first time making those big adjustments in such a close game like this.
That's our Pacific Life game summary. Ohio State moved quickly down the field, but was stopped inside the 5. It'll settle for a field goal. Here's Nick Bosa, the strip sack. Hamilton recovered, but it should have been a safety because Draymond Jones touched the ball when he was out of bounds.
Turns out to be Ohio State's only touchdown in the first half, and then TCU got to work on offense. A breaknecking speed, tempo, up and down the field. Big run by Darius Anderson, then a 93-yarder, longest in school history. And we talked at the outset of the broadcast how important it would be for them to try to neutralize the line of scrimmage. A big defensive line from Ohio State with up tempo and speed. And that's what they've done.
And Robinson flips it in the flat. Rager is met and dropped for a loss by Kendall Sheffield.
Speaking of adjustments, Greg Schiano's not used to giving up close to 300 yards of offense and a half. Interesting to see what he does to get his guys lined up and in position to be able to make plays.
Even after a 2-yard loss, they play fast. And here's Anderson, the big play back. Cuts it back. He'll be stopped short of the 35 by Nick Bosa.
Keep talking about Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator from TCU. We've talked so much about Gary Patterson getting his team ready, but Sonny Cumbie coming up with unique ways to go after Nick Bosa and this Ohio State defense, using formations and the tempo to his advantage.
Now, how will they cope with the pass rush here on 3rd and 6? Buckeyes showing some pressure. It's Browning. He drops back now. Robinson steps up and delivers a strike, and the catch is made by Jalen Reagor. First down across the 40.
That was a play that took some time. Nick Bosa coming from the left is held out by Myers, and he gets the ball just enough over the outstretched arm of Barrett Browning.
And Bosa pointing to an area of the body where you don't want to get hit. His helmet came off. He was going to have to come out for a play anyway. And now the athletic trainers will have a look at him.
Yeah,
it was a battle with Myers there on the edge.
He looks pretty serious. That could be a groin. He spends so much time stretching, about an hour a day.
Incredibly flexible. Take a break. I hate to see this. One of the best players in college football, Nick Bosa, limping slowly to the locker room. Here's what happened, Kirk.
Yeah, this is, you know, 3rd down, you know he's going to pass rush. He's going to come after the quarterback, lined up against Austin Myers, and he goes to the ground right there. And then Myers ends up coming up on top of him. And right away, he reached for that left groin.
Wanalua hit in the backfield, spun for a loss by Draymond Jones. He's an incredibly flexible player, and he does more to stretch and try to prevent injuries like that than just about anybody.
Yeah, his older brother, obviously Joey Bosa, who's had a lot of success in the NFL. He uses a big stretching routine out with the Los Angeles Chargers, and he's picked that up from his brother, so he'll spend over an hour stretching a day.
Robinson heaves it downfield, one-on-one Reagor once again. They're trying for that matchup. It was against the freshman Wade, but overthrown again.
Ohio State, they'll leave you on an island. Now you have Kendall Sheffield that goes down. That's a true freshman, and Wade matched up one-on-one with one of the better receivers in the Big 12. You see a little push there at the end.
We're bound to see some wear and tear. The defenses on both sides. You can see he stepped on the foot of the receiver there, Jarrison Stewart. He is still being looked at by the athletic trainers as their very speedy cover corner.
Well, it's not just a corner with Sheffield and Arnett, but when you play against 4 receivers, you see Shaun Wade out there playing, and this will test your depth because you got to get guys who can cover on the field when you have 4 receivers, especially as much man-to-man as they play. So we'll see if Sheffield's going to be okay, but Ohio State's starting to look at not just Shaun Wade, but maybe Marcus Williamson and Okudah.
Sheffield jogging off. A couple of times Robinson, and taking those downfield shots, has not given Reagor a chance to make a play. You'd like him to throw the ball so that at least it's a jump ball situation. You'd like Reagor's chances against most DBs. Made that circus catch early in the game.
Jeffrey Okudah now checks in at the bottom next to Shaun Wade.
He faced off against Robinson in state playoffs down here a couple years ago. 3rd and 10. Pressure, flushed, and flips for a incompletion. They're going to call it complete. Referee coming over. They may confer on this one, and now they rule it incomplete.
You know, you have Nick Bosa out, 3rd down. How about the push right here on the outside by Jonathan Cooper? Kind of collapses the pocket, and he has to move to his left. And then you also have on the other side young Chase Young, and it forces Robinson to have to get the ball out of there pretty quickly. Even with the catch, it's short of the 1st down.
So a 3 and out for TCU. And Nunez hits a low punt which bounces around and will roll dead inside the 15. So Ohio State gets the football back, down by a point.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Wells Fargo on ABC, is brought to you by Allstate and the Allstate AFCA Good Works team, recognizing athletes for their charitable work. Visit ESPN.com/Allstate to learn more. And the Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
The great LaDainian Tomlinson, college and Pro Football Hall of Famer, used to run wild at Amon Carter Stadium, which is 18 miles from here, lit up tonight. Game originally scheduled for that venue, but TCU took a $5 million payout to move it here to AT&T Stadium, sacrificed the home field advantage. Originally, they were going to play in Columbus next year as part of a home-and-home, but both teams decided to call that game off. This is Dobbins sent for no gain on first down. Maria?
Well, Chris, right now down here for Ohio State, their defense is waiting for Nick Bosa to come back out from the locker room. He's being checked right now by the medical staff, and I'll keep an eye on that. But Ryan Day said coming out of halftime that his offense has earned almost 300 yards. The biggest question is, can we score in the red zone? So that will be a focus, and he told his wide receivers, we have to catch the ball. Simply too many drops in that first half.
You're right, Maria. They came up empty. A couple red zone trips there. 2nd and 9. Haskins in the flat, and that's Dobbins making a catch, and he is well covered by Grant Wallow.
That's where Garrett Wallow's background as a safety allows him to be so versatile in this scheme, whether it's blitzing or trying to stay with a running back as talented as Dobbins. Makes that play out there in space, sets up this third down. See if they come after him.
It's Mack once again unable to come up with a football. Maria mentioned the emphasis on avoiding the drops. He had 3 of them in the first half.
Yeah, this would have been a great catch, but it's a catch that you've seen a guy like Austin Mack make. I mean, he's got to reach out there, and even if he's able to hold on to that ball, you wonder if he would have been able to come up with the first down. But a great effort by Jeff Gladney not to give up on it, and eventually knocking his forearm loose away from the football.
So each defense forcing a 3 and out at the start of the second half. And is this finally Turpin time? Drew Crispin to punt it, and Devontae Turpin for TCU at the 35-yard line. They're going to boot it really high and short. And Turpin says, that's okay. I'll come up, make a fair catch at the 47. Very concerned about the returner, but not a good kick. So Sean Robinson, 14 for 22 so far. Back to work. TCU sitting at a 1-point lead. Extra Yards for Teachers, a week-long celebration of teachers led by the College Football Playoff Foundation through its Extra Yards for Teachers platform. Visit the CFP Foundation website, cfpfoundation.org, to learn more and see how you can get involved. Sean Robinson, both of his parents were high school coaches. Dad was an assistant coach at DeSoto on the football team. And that's Anderson breaking free. Nice first down gain. His mom was the toughest coach in the family, coached the girls basketball team.
That's what he said. It's pretty powerful. You grow up in a house with both the parents are coaches.
There's a throw. The far side is Stewart. Gets a block into the secondary. Barreling down in the red zone. Frogs off and flying again.
They took advantage of Pete Werner confused with the formations. He's looking inside. See him running late there. They don't have enough bodies to the outside. It's 3 against 2. He gets the ball out quickly, and it's a first down for Stewart.
28 yards for the H-back. Again, a reminder, Nick Bosa not on the field, still being checked out in the Ohio State locker room. It appeared to be a groin injury. Anderson breaks free. Gets a block, turns the corner, dives the pylon. Touchdown! Second score tonight for the guy they call Jet. And the Horned Frogs stretch the lead.
Well, you can see if he stretched it all the way to the pylon before he went out of bounds. See his feet still in the air on top. Gets to the end zone.
His progressive pylon cam right at you, right into the living room here with the football.
He's on. His knees are on top of the Ohio State defender Arnett. He's in the air, hits that pylon before he touches. They're going to take a peek at it.
That's definitive. I love that.
Yeah, you get a really good feel with that.
And what an evening for Darius Anderson at the 93-yard run to break Tomlinson's school record, and another touchdown tonight. Patience on that block.
It's patience, but it's also, again, an assist to Sonny Cumbie for the formation. Took 3 defenders. They ran it back-to-back plays. 3 defenders to the field. You run back into the boundary where you get the one-on-one matchups with the offensive line. But that progressive pylon cam, that's right in your face there.
It's a 16-yard run if it stands. And the Horned Frogs raced 52 yards in 53 seconds. 3 plays.
It's the same concept
touchdown
that they scored the 93-yard touchdown, where they use the formation, they get the numbers right, and they're able to run back. And that's the side that Nick Bosa would normally be lined up on.
Jonathan Song has come on as kicker for the PATs tonight to add an important PAT here to make it an 8-point game. TCU striking quickly. 359 yards of offense and counting.
Cassidy Hupperth with your Dr. Pepper Championship Drive update. Number 10 Washington visiting 2-0 Utah over on ESPN. Myles Gaskin showing off the burners. No one's catching him, and then look, dives for the 38-yard touchdown. Huskies up 7-0 early again on ESPN. Chris, Herbie, Maria, back to you guys.
All right, Cassidy, thank you. Ohio State's offense, Kirk, was moving up and down the field at will against Oregon State. And Rutgers held out of the end zone so far. The touchdown was defensive, just a pair of field goals. They've been averaging 65 a game. And it's a short kickoff and an opportunity. Saunders, one of the other birthday boys in this Ohio State offense, takes it to the 26. College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Be awarded in the Bay Area January 7th. One of the winners in that game to come out of a semifinal here in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, the 29th.
You imagine Urban Meyer right now? You know how he wears his emotions on his sleeves, on the sideline, hands typically on his knees in games like this. Imagine him sitting home in Ohio watching this game.
Weber will lose a yard. Do you think he can watch? Do you think he can stand to watch, or is he out walking the dog?
I don't know. I have no idea.
He didn't make it all the way through the opening game.
Well, the first 2 games were pretty much mismatches. This is the first time this team has faced a team as talented as TCU. It's given him some real adversity.
Mack looks the ball into his hands and makes the catch for a first down to the 37.
But that was very deliberate. Isn't it? I mean, he looked that in like he's doing a drill on a Tuesday practice. Watch him focus, lock it in, and then go.
Weber with a quick run out across the 40 in his games made the stop.
Now, Ohio State only 91 yards now up to 97 yards rushing, and they are, you know, again trying to find an identity with Dwayne Haskins without JT Barrett, but they have to be a balanced team. It's not just about Haskins in the passing game.
Weber starts wide, cuts it back. They featured the run in that long drive with Dobbins, but couldn't find the end zone when they got close.
They tried to get outside, could not get out there. Banigou out there forcing Weber back into the teeth of that defense, and they are flying to the football.
3rd and 5. Haskins steps up, flushed, and he is not one of the great scramblers in the sport. A flag comes in after the tackle by Banigou. This could be another personal foul, perhaps, on TCU.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 30, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down. The previous play is under review.
He called it on Malo, and we'll check it again here. Dave Kataya, what's your take on that initial look in the replay?
Well, here comes, let's take a look at this look now. He's going down. All right, he gets it with the helmet. What they have to look like is he defenseless? He's on his way down. Right now, he is defenseless, and it looks like the contact's high. They're gonna stay on this, I think.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's it, just so people understand at home? Sometimes you see a ball carrier running, and he's considered defenseless. Other times he is not. What makes Haskins defenseless there in your mind?
At this point, he's going to the ground. Now let's see where the contact is and what he contacts him with. Right there, you see him get him with the side of the helmet. All right, he's going to the ground. There's a question whether he's defenseless. He is going to the ground. He is defenseless.
It's the face mask of Wallow that got the side of the helmet of Haskins.
And when a player is defenseless, it's not about the crown of the helmet. It's just the initial contact being to the head area, right?
Any contact above the shoulders with the head, shoulder, forearm, or hand. Forcible contact. Now, what they have to look at also, was this forcible contact?
The tough thing there is the quarterback's going down, the defender's coming in low. That's one of those plays you see, and it's just so hard on the defender as he's going in low, thinking he's doing the right thing, and all of a sudden the quarterback, who's a defenseless player's head, is low, and now you, instead of hitting his midsection, you're hitting him in the helmet.
I think the intent of the targeting rule is outstanding. You have to address player safety and head injuries for the long-term health of the sport, as well as the players on the field in any given game. The folks who don't like the targeting rule will point to this as an example of what is a defender supposed to do. If the call does stand, they lose Garrett Wallow, who's a terrific linebacker on this team, and it would move the ball to the TCU 40 with a first down.
And he's had a big night tonight. He has been active. Mentioned him a number of times, the former safety who has moved to linebacker. He's been involved in defending the run. He's been involved in blitzing. He's been involved in covering receivers and running backs out of the backfield. He's done a lot.
Bob Welch is the ACC replay official. They're taking a long look at this, Dave. This is clearly not cut and dried. In their view, it wouldn't take this many looks at it. The repercussions are huge, though. You lose a key player, and you move the ball into TCU territory if it stands.
What they're looking at is whether this was forcible contact. There are two pieces to targeting. One is forcible contact, and the other is contact high. Okay, so they've got to decide whether it's forcible contact. To me, it appears to be forcible contact. But they could take a look at it and decide that he went low. But to me, I say it's forcible contact, and they're going to stand on this. There's not enough to overturn it, in my opinion.
Eagerly await this critical ruling. Wallow's a guy, they said he plays so fast. Sometimes he plays a little too fast. They want him to just kind of slow down and think a little bit more. Sophomore out of New Orleans. One of the longer reviews on this type of play that I can recall seeing. Contact was high on Haskins' helmet. Was it forcible? And that obviously is a judgment. Dave's opinion, the call will stand.
There we go.
And Wallow will be ejected.
After review, there is no targeting on the play. Player number 30 may remain in the game. We will place the ball. It will be 4th and 1 at the 46-yard line. 4th and 1 at the 46-yard line. At the 36-yard line. Correction, 36.
It took a long
Reset
time.
The game clock to 9
but
minutes and
the reversal there, and Wallow stays in the game. Instead of being first down to the TCU 40, it's now 4th and 1 for Ohio State. And they'll send out the punt team.
Great reaction from Wallow there. Almost got a get out of jail card for free. His reaction there, and a big stop, and what a change in the complexion of this football game.
There have been a few controversial rulings here, one which benefited Ohio State in the first half on the touchdown recovery that we feel should have been ruled a safety. That one goes against Ohio State. So Crispin to punt, Turpin waiting way back inside his 10. Not a very high kick, and Turpin will have to come up and make a fair catch at the 19-yard line. Well, Curtis in the All-State bus here in Arlington, helping us keep up with all the mayhem on a busy Saturday. Kirk, your All-State mayhem moment today?
Well, there's a lot of mayhem all over the sport today, but the one that really stood out was when Gaglione, the kicker from Wisconsin, lined up to potentially tie the game, send it to overtime, and instead BYU goes into Madison and knocks off number 6, Wisconsin.
It's an enormous win for the Cougars to go to Camp Randall. It's been a tough day, maybe a tough first 3 weeks for the Big Ten Conference. So TCU from the 19, up by 8. Robinson, this was a draw all the way. Slipped the tackle momentarily, but is dropped by Malik Harrison.
Malik Harrison seems to be dialed in a lot more to the quarterback run game and the potential scramble of Sean Robinson.
How do you make up for not having Nick Bosa at that one defensive end spot?
What they've done is they moved Chase Young in on one side to take over for Bosa. And you're also seeing Jonathan Cooper playing that left end.
Buckeyes running men on and off very late here. Showing pressure up the middle. And here comes Browning. Robinson rolls away from the pressure and incomplete into traffic. Kevontae Turpin that time should have had it.
Well, he got separation. Ohio State brought a blitz. Very good job by Robinson, just kind of moving to his right to buy time. And there's the separation Turpin gets from Went, a safety trying to match up with one of the fastest guys on the field.
3rd and 10.
Last third down, Ohio State just rushed 3, and they spied Robinson.
Option look, late pitch. It was behind Alanaloa, who collects it. Timing disrupted, and the gain was short. 4th down.
Trying to catch him off guard running the football. This Ohio State defense showing blitz, and then they come out of it.
Risky pitch there, Kirk.
Risky pitch. He's trying to bait Cooper in. He gets the ball to the outside, but the Ohio State defense, 4 or 5 jerseys flying to that football and forces TCU punt.
No big mistakes for Robinson tonight, but sitting on an 8-point lead, backed up in your own end, that was a high-risk pitch. C.J. Saunders is the punt returner for Ohio State, and a whistle before the punt. And false start on the Frogs.
False start. Offense, number 20, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Saunders is a sure-handed punt returner. Ohio State's had some troubles fielding punts cleanly in the first couple of games. See if they come after this punt. Now this time they peel back. And Nunez with a low boot, but effective because it pins Saunders along the sidelines. And Ohio State will take over around the 37-yard line. Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear, from the end zone to the uprights. Nothing comes between hard work and the goal. Goodyear, more driven. Fort Worth, which was home to game day earlier, they got all the purple lights in the buildings there saluting TCU. They know marketing. They do a good job at TCU in Fort Worth, don't they?
You know, we've not called Paris Campbell's name much at all tonight. Surprised they've not tried to get him the football. He's more of a speedster for this offense.
It's another low snap. Haskins hit as he throws, and it falls to the turf. Banagoo off the edge. This is his first experience of a pass rush like this in his college career.
Well, we've seen Dwayne Haskins be able to sit back, relax, and throw the football these first couple of weeks. And it's a totally different story tonight. They are coming after him. The Ohio State offensive line is big, but they aren't the quickest. And when they deal with speed, it can be a challenge in pass protection. By the way, Michael Jordan on the snaps continues to give Haskins low snaps.
Sure does. That was a better one. There's Campbell, the man you asked for. And Campbell in the clear. Paris Campbell with blazing speed. They'll never catch him. Touchdown, Ohio State. 63 yards. And Ryan Day was thinking the same thing you were thinking. Let's get 21 involved finally.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to try to get him the ball where he could make a play after the catch. That's what he's really known for, and they give him that bubble screen back to the boundary, picks up a nice block from the tight end, Barry. And when he gets out with room to run, there aren't very many people that can catch up to him.
This is Ryan Day making a head coach decision now. They'll call the play here, but they'll chase the points. They'll go for 2 and the tie right now. Midway third quarter. Not everybody would do this. Dobbins is the back. Another low snap. Haskins rolls, fires high and incomplete. So the Frogs maintain the lead, and once again that low snap disrupted timing.
Yeah, they tried to bait him there, and they tried to get them to think they were going to run a pick to the right and then throw the tight end delay back the other way. But let's go back to the touchdown. I mentioned how they want to just try to get him the ball in space. It's the run after the catch. Picks up a block there. Look at that tight end, a nice block by Barry, and he doesn't need a lot of room. When he gets out there into the secondary, there aren't many guys that can catch him. A little move to the inside. Barry picks up a block. Good hustle downfield by Prejean. And then Barry just has the foot speed to outrun everybody into the end zone.
There's the two-point conversion. Again, it's low. He has to go to the carpet to scoop it up. Tries to get it back to Barry, and no chance.
Yeah, tried to catch the defense napping, making them think that it was the NCAA two-point play that everybody does to the right to pick play, and TCU did a good job staying home.
Campbell, a guy who's a high school running back and defensive back, trying to learn the receiver position at Ohio State. He's much better on those short catches and long runs.
Sure is, and he's worked tirelessly to become better downfield. It's an area that has at times hurt him with some drops, but he's put a lot of time in the offseason. But he'll show you what he can do after the catch.
And it'll be a touchback. So Ohio State, 63-yard scoring play. Cuts into the lead in 16 seconds. You can stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. Search your free trial today, downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com.
Keep saying that Nick Bosa is out of the game, and talking about the best player in college football, the best pass rusher. So Chase Young has moved into his spot, and we also have Jonathan Cooper playing. Those are the two defensive ends for Ohio State. Expect TCU here to crank up the tempo, try to get Ohio State confused and on their heels.
Jet sweep. Rager spins into heavy traffic and picks up 2 yards. Jordan Fuller, now had a huge 2017, made the tackle.
Here they go, going back to the fastball. The tempo, try to get Ohio State confused.
Anderson picks his way. Well, they play fast for 2 plays, but it's going to set up a 3rd and 6 now.
I think one of the answers Greg Schiano came up with is to streamline the plays. Stay in a couple plays, get lined up, and try to play fast. Now TCU slows things down here a bit.
Wanalua is the back. And here's the chess game.
There's 3 receivers all in man-to-man coverage.
Buckeyes are showing pressure off the right side, and they run right into it. And the ball's picked up by Draymond Jones. And the Buckeyes have a second defensive touchdown. Not fooled at all. The big junior tackle on the shovel pass finds the end zone.
Your star defensive lineman, Nick Bosa, goes down. The next guy in line, who's the leader, is Draymond Jones. You need somebody to make a play, and Draymond Jones steps up and does that.
Wow. Ohio State takes the lead despite the fact that their offense hasn't found the end zone at all. The defense has found it twice.
But Draymond Jones earlier almost came up with an interception. He's head up at the nose, and he's going to fight through the center here to be able to come up with this. He gets through Hollins, and by pushing him back, next thing you know, he looks up, and the eyes at the last moment to see the football, catch it, and then he shows the athletic ability to be able to avoid the potential tackle. Look at his eyes right there at the last second. Picks it up. Defensive linemen don't get those kind of opportunities very often. Look at him run. For his size at 6'3", 286 pounds.
Warner, by the way, credit him for forcing the issue, but you're right. Look at him dance. Stiff arms the quarterback. That had to feel good as a D lineman, and then look at the move here. Ohio State finding a way on a night when the offense hasn't found the end zone to build a 5-point lead. And that was the first real mistake. Sean Robinson got away with a risky pitch on that last option play into heavy traffic. Should not have made that throw clearly. And the Buckeyes and their fans are roaring. Robinson's got to shake that off right now. Rager is laying down in the end zone. And Turpin's going to bring this one out. And now they're going to throw it across the field as they try to trick the Buckeyes. There's a flag on the field. Running down is Rager. Was it a forward pass or not? He's headed to the end zone, but this may come back. He was laying flat on the end zone, trying to hide from the coverage team. He jumped up. Turpin threw it across the field, but it can't be a forward pass there.
He threw it from the 8-yard line, and it was caught on about the 13-yard line. Definitely a forward pass, but how about the design?
During the return, illegal forward pass on the receiving team, number 25. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, they had him fooled, Kirk, but not well executed. Rager said, wait.
Yeah.
What happened?
How about D-Mob in the truck catching him laying down? He's just hiding from the kickoff coverage team, and you know what? It worked. Nobody saw him. All 11 guys are running to take Turpin. There's nobody left covering on the right side. And Ohio State catches a break, by that being a forward lateral.
By the way, Turpin was pressured as he threw the ball. They got down there so fast on him. That's why he couldn't set and make the proper lateral. And the 157-pounder took a big shot.
Well, I think they got down in a hurry. It was Justin Hilliard who got down first, a linebacker from Cincinnati St. Xavier. But I think he waited just a little bit too long. He needed to feel this coverage team coming down. You know, in practice, you might be able to take it all the way out to the 10 or 12. Here, there's Justin Hilliard. He's got to get rid of that ball sooner, clearly. And throwing it at the 7 or 8 yard line, the ball is caught at about the 13 or 14. But man, what a call by TCU. Just not quite able to execute it, but it worked. Ohio State bid on it. He's laying down in the corner over there.
Buckeyes didn't spot him.
No.
Eric Mobley and our crew spotted him.
Yeah.
You get one chance a season to pull that off, though, right? I mean, everybody else.
Oklahoma's not going to fall for that.
And the fallout is, after the penalty, Horned Frogs at their 4, and Robinson in his end zone. Hands off to Alana Lua. Landers and Jones, the touchdown scorers, swarm him for a 1-yard gain.
Not only did the play not work, but obviously backed up so deep in their own territory. Momentum favoring Ohio State. TCU needs to put something together here.
Play fake. Throw across the middle. And the catch is made by Dylan Thomas. And the junior from Fort Worth moves the 6 to the 20.
Yeah, that time they took advantage of an aggressive set of eyes from the linebackers. Malik Harrison with them pinned back deep in their own territory, expecting a run. Instead, it's play action.
Manalua stacked up. And this TCU team, what a gut punch. You come out, you started fast, you taken the lead, you're up 8 points, Ohio State answers, and then that turnover, the first tonight, suddenly you find yourself down by 5.
Doesn't seem to affect Sean Robinson. I mean, he seems to be a guy who has a lot of confidence in his scheme and his offense. Even though he doesn't have a lot of experience, he seems to be a cool customer. 5 receivers, ball's out fast.
Robinson tries to escape and is run out of bounds. Malik Harrison was there to force him out. It'll be 3rd down.
Their answer to this is to have Malik Harrison spying. He's just looking and waiting for the quarterback. That's his only responsibility. Did he get his hand up into the face mask, that left hand? And he grabbed onto it.
They each had each other's face mask.
Yep. And they probably would have been offsetting if they called because of the way Robinson grabbed back.
A little more urgency now for TCU on this 3rd and 7. Pressure. And pass is incomplete. It was a short route over the middle intended for Barber. 4th down.
You don't have Nick Bosa. You got to bring your linebackers. That's exactly what they do. The double A-gap blitz right up the middle. And the urgency of that pressure, Robinson could feel that and had to get rid of the ball quickly. So Ohio State's defense answers again to get the ball back to Dwayne Haskins.
Buckeyes come after this punt, and it's muffed. And it's partially deflected. TCU will fall on it at the 25-yard line. Could have been a disaster. As it is, the pressure forces the deflection. Ohio State will take over at the +25.
Now the snap was way to the right. He never really had much of a chance. Look at that. Look how far that snap is. He has a hard time handling that. Nunez really didn't have much of a chance at all. Ohio State bringing the pressure. We've seen them set up returns. This time they're going after it, and looks like Isaiah Pryor might have been in there along with Justin Hilliard.
To the Buckeyes, up 5, take over for the 25, and number 25, whoever gets the ball and is wrestled down for no gain by Broadnax.
TCU goes from having the lead and feeling pretty good about where they are. Next thing you know, you see Ohio State get the ball to Paris Campbell for a big touchdown, like you said, Chris, and then Draymond Jones.
Haskins looking for the end zone. Hill, touchdown, Ohio State. KJ Hill having a monster birthday night. And the Scarlet and Gray are roaring now. Nurnberger to make it suddenly a 12-point Ohio State lead late 3rd quarter.
And they get the block punt to give them outstanding field position. A bad snap. Ohio State takes advantage of it. They happen to be coming after Nunez. He's lucky to even get that off. They have great field position. TCU brings the blitz here within his gains to the left. Number 6 comes. He's picked up nicely by Munford, and then he gets the one-on-one matchup against Nico Small. That's a matchup that Ohio State wants to exploit. KJ Hill, 14, with the blitz, gets matched up against Nico Small. And how about the last-second adjustment there by KJ Hill, be able to come back to the ball and into the end zone.
Ohio State 20 points in the last 4 minutes. Ryan Day's team, as head coach for one more game, erases a halftime deficit, now leads by 12. 2 defensive scores. Big play by the punt block team setting up that touchdown. This will be a lot for TCU to weather. Kick off your week 2 of the NFL, 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Sunday NFL countdown. All the news, injury updates, previews of every game right up to kickoff. Also on the ESPN app. You can watch it anywhere. You get the Cowboys and the Giants here tomorrow night. They'll roll up this field and then roll out the Cowboys custom field, which they keep right beneath us here. 2 teams in need of a win after opening losses. Wow. Folks in purple are quiet for the moment. Big test for young Sean Robinson. Just his 4th start, and now before the series they'll have to spend a timeout, which could come in handy as they try to make up this deficit. Well, you wondered, how would Ohio State respond? Urban Meyer not there. It's not a team that has a whole bunch of senior leadership. Got a pretty emphatic answer. And by the way, without their best football player, Nick Bosa is not out there. That's a strong response in the last 4 minutes.
21-13, and the momentum is favoring TCU. It's 2nd and 10. They're having a hard time really generating much of anything, and all of a sudden they hit the big play to Paris Campbell. He's able to take off. Then they get the interception by Draymond Jones, and they get Haskins back out there as Nick Bosa works his way back out. He's probably happy to see that score. Wasn't quite like that when he left.
You can see a noticeable limp. We'll await any further information we give and a prognosis. There's a throw into traffic, and the catch is made coming back for the football there by Trevante Heights. Picked up 6.
Talked about the Ohio State receivers working back to the ball. That's a nice job by Heights doing the exact same thing. Leaving those Ohio State corners on islands. Sean Robinson's got to try to find matchups that he can win with his receivers.
Anderson cuts it back, shows his strength, has a first down.
I think Sean Robinson at the line of scrimmage, he's looking into that Ohio State defense, and if he sees 2 safeties back deep, they're going to try to run the ball with Darius Anderson. You get the other safety down, you get one-on-one matchup. That's when they're going to have to throw. That last play was just 2 deep safeties.
They fake it to Anderson, flipping far side to Barber, who breaks free. And Tay Barber, the true freshman, makes a play into Ohio State territory. The Frogs try to answer right back and stop this run.
That was a good effort there by the true freshman. Okuda actually made a really good play. Ohio State just unable to make the tackle out in space.
And trying to make the tackle, Anderson in the background. Took about 3 Buckeyes, but they finally knocked him down for a 1-yard loss. And there's another Ohio State player on the field. And that is Draymond Jones. He's had a monster night. Made the interception of the shovel pass, of course. They attend to Jones. You see if that's just a cramp. Here's what happened to Nick Bosa. Again, widely expected to come out to next year's draft and perhaps be the top pick.
This is a play that you hate to see this happen to anybody, but for Ohio State, especially to a guy like Nick Bosa, who works so hard to try to avoid these kind of injuries with his stretching routine that he goes through daily. And you can see he's pointing. Looks like he's pointing to his groin. You wonder how severe of a groin pull that could be. You have Tulane next week, which you would think they could play without him, and then you've got to get ready to go to State College to take on Penn State.
Whiteout game 2 weeks from tonight as they continue to work on Jones. Talked about the frenetic pace of this game. Ohio State's defense was on the field for 24 plays in the first quarter. That's slowed down a little bit, but TCU's offense has already snapped it 62 times. It's been a test of the conditioning that you work hard all off season, all summer camp to get ready for moments like this. Jones able to walk off.
I think they feel pretty good about the depth that they have on the defensive line, but you're taking out Nick Bosa and now Draymond Jones, who looked like he was cramping. You're talking about 2 potential, well, 1 first rounder for sure, and Jones, a lot of people feel could be a first rounder too.
Absolutely. 2nd and 11. Robinson rolls. Deep shot. Down the middle. In the double coverage. Caught. Touchdown. Trevante Heights.
And what an adjustment, Chris, to that football in the air by Heights.
Sheffield down again. What a fearless throw into double coverage.
I mean, borderline reckless throw. I mean, he threw it up there. Heights makes an adjustment on the ball. He makes the play. He actually undercuts the safety. Jawson Went never saw the ball. Heights cut underneath him to adjust to the football.
Big sophomore, 6'3" out of Yoakum, Texas, and he's sort of lost in among all the other playmakers in this receiving core. His 2nd touchdown this season.
Wentz back here, he'll work back to the middle of the field. He's in position. He just loses the football. Watch him come underneath him right there and make the adjustment on the football. Right there. See how Wentz lost? He beat Sheffield to the post. Wentz is supposed to be there in position to bat the ball away at the very least. Never located the ball. And give Heights credit. He never lost stride or focus. Adjust on that ball and makes a big play.
What an enormous moment. You talk about a team that was up 8, suddenly down 12. And now he's gotten it back within 5.
It's like offsides on Ohio State. There's a lot of fun. We still have a whole quarter to go here.
It's fun. Let's play 5 quarters.
Offside, defense, number 17. That penalty is declined. The try is good.
We always say great teams answer, great teams respond. Both these teams have done that. Ohio State was down 21-13. They built up the lead. TCU, boy, the crowd got back into. Ohio State had all the momentum. Sean Robinson comes back. Heights makes a big catch. There you go. Down 5. They're right back in the game.
It was a 57-yard touchdown against Southern. That was his only catch that day. He's got 5 career receptions. 3 have gone for touchdowns. So Heights has a talent for big plays.
Yeah, he does.
And Robinson, what a bold throw, man. You said borderline reckless, but the receiver made him look great.
Absolutely.
Ohio State felt like, hey, we just threw the knockout punch, right, Kurt? We got 20 points in 4 minutes, scoring various ways. I don't think they expected TCU to answer that quickly. That's for sure.
How about Kenny Hill right there with the hat on and the headsets talking to the quarterback?
Student coach.
A student coach. He was a quarterback here after transferring from A&M, played quarterback the last couple years and did a really good job, tried to make a run in the NFL and it didn't work out. He's back and he's coaching, and not only coaching, this is starting quarterback, and look who he's talking to. He's getting more from Kenny Hill's experience and dealing with what to do and little tricks of the trade. That's been a big advantage having him.
Yeah, Sean calls more like a big brother relationship. Imagine having the guy you competed against for the job and then comes back and mentors you the following season.
Now, this is the 3rd quarter. If you're just tuning in, we've had 34 points scored already. Great play here by Draymond Jones, who fights through. Little shovel pass. He picks off and then shows the athletic ability to be able to make a play, take it all the way to the end zone. A poor snap on the punt. Ohio State's coming after him. They get great field position, put the ball up with a matchup they wanted to take advantage of, and KJ Hill does that. And then you have the comeback that we just talked about there, the adjustment by Heights.
And now Haskins from the pocket to Mack. And makes a catch, tackled immediately by Gladney.
I got the idea. Just make the catches tough, and 11 will come up with it. And that was a tough catch. He's had 3 drops. Now he's going to go out, and Victor comes in.
Haskins has thrown 35 passes tonight. Completed 21 of them. Sometimes that was about 3 games for J.T. Barrett. He was a great leader and a great quarterback. It's just a different looking Ohio State offense. Dobbins cuts it back. Well, high step move, and Dobbins spins to midfield. Big homecoming game for the guy who had a big cotton bowl down here too.
Nice counter play. Good patience there. Play opened up on the right side, but Dobbins, we're going to show you, but really the offensive line did their job there, just overpowering TCU up front. Good call.
Are you not entertained? 34 points in that 3rd quarter. And we head to the final 15 minutes with Ohio State marching and up by 5. End of 3 in Arlington. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Back on Saturday Night Football, presented by Wells Fargo, set for the 4th quarter. Ohio State, 5-point lead after a wild 34-point 3rd quarter. Dobbins takes off, kind of bumped into Haskins in the backfield. Another low snap, but it's spot him a yard short of a 1st down.
Chris, the timing of the play is off because the snap continues to be low. I mean, they're lucky that they're able to field the snap. They're about to go tempo here themselves.
Dobbins hit and spun down. He'll lose yardage. It's a simple thing at the start of every play, but Jordan has consistently made Haskins stoop down low to get the football.
Yeah, and it really affects the timing of runs and passes. But by the way, Joseph Broadnax there, he's the one who's able to penetrate and get into that backfield and prevent Dobbins from picking up first down yardage.
894 combined yards so far. Buckeyes need just one of them to keep the drive alive. And Dobbins barrels for a first down. There's a flag down, however. Flag down on the near sideline.
Offside. Defense. Number 91. 5-yard penalty. Result of the penalty is a first down.
And Collier was just lined up offsides. He didn't jump. You want to avoid that if you can on 3rd and short.
True. Dobbins made it anyway, but this will move the ball to the 35.
Be shocked to see Haskins maybe take a shot to one of his outside receivers.
Play action. Looking. And finding it across the middle. That's the catch made by Johnny Dixon. He had Victor going deep, took the underneath route.
Yeah, he's looked, he took a peek to his right, but it was taken away, so he comes right back. That's the best thing Haskins does for a young quarterback, because he thought about going downfield. Instead of waiting on it, immediately comes off of it and gets the ball down to Johnny Dixon for big yards.
Dobbins, little high step action, knocked down inside the 5. He's feeling it in his homecoming game here in Arlington.
Nice job by the right side. You and I have called so many games with Isaiah Prince when he was younger, had some struggles in pass protection, has really matured and grown into becoming a leader on this offensive line. Opened up that hole on the right side there.
Are they wearing down the TCU defense? First and goal. Play action. Haskins flushed. Escapes momentarily, but he'll be dragged down at the 6-yard line. Alex Dunham got him. Escapability, not his strong suit.
No, but down this close, he wants to go back to the play that Mac dropped. See in the back of the end zone? Instead of forcing the issue, he just eats it. You're either going to throw that away or eat it and live for the next down. Now it's still 2nd down and goal here with a chance to execute.
This has been the problem area for Ohio State's offense. Not very efficient down in the red zone. 2 tight end look. Keeper, lead blockers, take that. Haskins finds the end zone as a runner. He says, I'm not Braxton, I'm not JT, but I can do just fine when you put a lead blocker out there for me.
And I really think that teams are going to defend Ohio State. You're going to see as this season goes on, just 2 or 3 times a game where they sprinkle in Dwayne Haskins doing that very thing, whether it's 3rd down or down in the red zone, because you're right, teams tend to forget that he is athletic and he can run.
Nuremberger for the point, and Ohio State goes back up by 12 points early in the 4th quarter. Dwayne Haskins grew up in Jersey, went to Maryland, but visited Ohio State as a young kid. And he said, this is the place I want to play college football. I want to play quarterback. I want to wear number 7. I want to score touchdowns. It's all coming true for him.
Cassidy Hubbard for your studio update. Number 22 USC in some trouble in Austin. Caden Stearns blocked the Chase McGrath field goal, and Anthony Wheeler grabs it, puts it in high speed. 46 yards for a touchdown. Texas putting it on USC, just added another score, up 37-14 after 3. Chris, Herbie, back to you.
All right, thanks, Cassidy. TCU will visit Texas next week. Turpin to the trickery. Didn't work last time because of the penalty, is back on the field, takes it to the 23. Maria?
Well, Chris, when Nick Bosa came back out in his sweats, we knew he wouldn't be taking the field again, but the official word from Ohio State is a lower abdomen strain. Now, we've seen just about every player on the sideline, including Dwayne Haskins, come up to Bosa and shake his hands, ask him how he is, and he's basically shaking his head saying, I'm going to be all right, but you can tell he's a little dejected right now that he can't be out there with his teammates.
All right, Maria, thank you. Strain. Some to consider that good news. We mentioned Kirk Tulane next week. Then the trip to Penn State. TCU again down by a dozen. Lanalua tracked down by Harrison after a short gain.
This game's a long way from being over. 12 minutes to go, and with the way these teams have gone back and forth, Ohio State players continuing to deal
Hamilton
with.
made the fumble recovery in the end zone for the touchdown.
Seen a number of Ohio State players kind of the last few series going down.
You don't feel that's an attempt to slow the tempo down? It's hard to say.
Yeah, it is hard to say.
And that wasn't a play where you'd figure to do it. They only gained 2 yards. Typically, it happens when an offense makes a big play down in the red zone.
But my point is, with 12 minutes to go in this game, and I know you can see the rushing yards haven't been the same, but because of the way TCU can score and score in a hurry, there's still a lot of football to be played here.
Turpin to the left. They look that way, throw it to him. He is tracked and smothered by Jordan Fuller. He shifted over to Kirk Sensen, never get the ball to 25, and it's a loss.
They brought Pryor on a blitz right here, and that forces Fuller to have to play one-on-one on the outside by himself. He makes that play and gets to Turpin before the offensive line. The convoy can lead him downfield where Turpin was trying to get underneath him. Quick reaction there by Jordan Fuller. It's a great play.
Academic second-team All-American a year ago. Says he's going for first team this year. On 3rd and 8, Robinson throws, and what a catch made in traffic. Jalen Reagor has made some terrific grabs tonight. That was crucial. First down.
It's a great catch, but a heck of a throw. Under the pressure, Ohio State blitzing him, and he puts that ball right on the money, and a great job of focusing by Reagor.
Serious hand strength. Robinson rolls away. It's a wobbly throw, broken up on the far sideline. Sean Wade, the freshman, in coverage. Jonathan Cooper trying to step into the void. Left by Bosa, pressured the quarterback. 2 sacks by the Ohio State defense tonight. Anderson making the adjustment here. Play clock at 7. Buckeyes showing pressure, and they rush 6. Looping throw, far sideline, jump ball, catch made. Dylan Thomas went up, and he beat the freshman Wade.
Ohio State leaving a true freshman who's actually in pretty good position. The ball is thrown perfectly, and the only thing Wade didn't do well as a young corner is locate the football.
34-yard play. There's another catch, and trying to spin free is Stewart. This TCU receiving corps has had an outstanding night. Tough catches,
especially downfield, where a lot of times Ohio State's in phase. They're covered, but they adjust well to the ball. It makes it tough on the defense when they can't locate the ball in that deep ball. Even when they're in phase, the receivers coming back and adjusting well to the football. We've seen that a number of times.
Reagor has been the main target. He's caught 7 passes, 4 short catches for Turpin. Second and 11. Buckeyes bring pressure, and look out. He's sacked back at the 40-yard line. Draymond Jones, a monster night for the D-tackle.
This play took forever, and you can't do that with a guy like Draymond Jones, who eventually is going to get there. This is good coverage downfield and a good job of not giving up on rushing the quarterback by Draymond Jones. He came up with a big sack last week. We've seen him very active tonight. And that time, Sean Robinson has to feel that to get rid of the ball.
Huge loss. Sets up a 3rd and 24. Field goal doesn't do them a whole lot of good here. Down by 12. And they treat this like they've got 2 plays to pick up 24 yards. They will spend a timeout on defense.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Wells Fargo. Established 1852, re-established 2018. In part by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
Over on ESPN, after the Washington-Utah game, Sports Center with Stan Verrett, Neil Everett. Kirk and I will join them to break down this game. Complete college football roundup. Stephen A. and Teddy Atlas following the Canelo Triple G fight.
Yeah, that'd be a great fight tonight. Third and forever here. You got to think they're going to go for that 10 to 15 yard type of pass to set them up for a fourth down type of play where it's about 4th and 8.
Buckeyes are showing pressure, then they drop back. Robinson has time, delivers a pass over the middle, broken up by Damon Arnett. And now it's 4th down and forever.
Yeah, it gives yourself a chance if you can be able to execute. But how about Damon Arnett? In the air, keeps the left hand off of the intended receiver Stewart. Doesn't have pass interference and knocks the ball away. That's a great play.
So TCU will bring in Andrew David. It's a different punter. And he kicks a very high spinny kick that Saunders signals a fair catch for at the 6-yard line. So Ohio State up by a dozen. Back to work with 8:51 to play. Pacific Life game summary is the quarterback comparison. Both Haskins and Robinson with 300-yard passing games. Haskins has avoided an interception, also has a rushing touchdown. Now Ohio State, which has scored touchdowns on their last 3 possessions, if they're making just a pair of field goals on their first 8 possessions. Best to choose some clock and add to the lead if they can. Weber be knocked out of bounds. They prefer to stay inbounds. Isahaku forced him out.
Expect Ohio State to lean on that offensive line and that running game, try to work the clock the best they can. TCU, on the other hand, thinking about trying to get a turnover, trying to attack the Ohio State line of scrimmage, trying to get a 3 and out, get the ball back to Sean Robinson.
This massive offensive line that has allowed just 1 sack tonight. It was a 1-yard loss. Blocked for the run very well.
But there has been significant amount of pressure in this game compared to the first 2.
Oh, sure. Weber tries to bounce it, cuts it back, and he'll earn a first down. And every first down Ohio State makes the climb longer for TCU.
Again, a low snap. Haskins lucky to get the ball handed off. I'm telling you, that was the best part of the play as he continues to go down and field these snaps like a shortstop and somehow get the ball handed off. And then Mike Weber does what Mike Weber does.
You think Michael Jordan might work on snaps in practice this week?
I'm guessing when Urban Meyer gets back into his normal seat, you'll see the snaps probably cleared up by next week.
Been, it seems like a dozen very low snaps tonight.
At least.
That one's perfect. The Weber is hit immediately and dropped for a loss as Gaines flew in there.
And Gaines went out with an injury, but he's back. And they're understanding Ohio State is trying to run. So instead of just trying to shoot gaps, they decide to come off the edge and try to get to Weber before he can get into that line of scrimmage.
Weber has been contained tonight. 49 yards. Dobbins, in his homecoming game, is 104. Haskins, late pressure, flips it off, underneath, catch made. KJ Hill for the first down. He had a free runner, but Haskins was cool under pressure.
And not only cool under pressure, but I love how quickly he gets rid of the football. It's like a scissors route underneath. Guys crossing, and watch how he diagnoses, gets the ball out quickly. Not going to take a kind of a risky chance of throwing the ball downfield. He's able to read that quickly and see KJ Hill out. But you know, some young quarterbacks, they hold on to the ball. They want to make sure. Dwayne Haskins has an innate ability to see it quickly, process it, and get the ball out.
Weber barrels ahead. You saw Hill working on what looked to be a cramp, and he's got 6 catches tonight. Been very hot in Columbus, hadn't it, for practice? A tough camp, but in this indoor environment, a lot of players still succumbing to some cramps.
I also think the surface itself, you and I were on the field before the game, and Maria's down there. I mean, it's
spongy.
And very soft.
It also smells of feet. It really does.
That's true.
The fumes down there pregame.
Right at the 50.
Yes. 2nd and 2. Buckeyes bleeding the play clock now in every snap. Another first down as they continue just to grind away on that clock. It's Weber.
Now they're starting to really push that line of scrimmage, and when you have two backs like Dobbins and Weber, you can keep them fresh. Wear on those linebackers, especially over 4 quarters. This TCU defense is undersized and has had to be very aggressive with their scheme tonight. Takes a toll on you after 60 minutes of that.
Ohio State now over 500 yards total offense. Weber tripped up. Flying in there is Wallow. Are we to Monday Night Football matchup? Russell Wilson and the Seahawks head to Soldier Field. Take on Khalil Mack and the Bears. Seahawks and Bears 8:15 on ESPN. Also simulcast on ESPN2 and Espanol. Also on the ESPN app. You can watch it anywhere.
Khalil Mack, pretty good start.
That was all in the first half on the right there. Now the Packers got the better of the Bears in the 4th quarter. Rodgers come back.
And with the Seahawks, there've been so many players that have left and new players coming in. It's like a new era.
Weber in space is tackled as Wallow, the man who made the tackle the last time, being tended to by the athletic trainers. A bloody nose. Not his first in the career, I'm sure. It's 3rd and 5, so Haskins, if they can convert this, will really begin to make it tough on TCU. Horned Frogs hitting 2 touchdowns, desperate to get the football back right here. Whatever energy that defense and the all-black unis has left, they need to bring on this snap. Weber, and they do stop him for a 1-yard gain. Enrico Evans, the linebacker, got him, and it's 4th down.
And Gary Patterson's going to use one of his 2 timeouts.
And smart, as Ohio State no doubt would have let it count all the way down before punting. We'll take a break. 3.5 to play. TCU will get the football back. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Keep pushing day in and day out on the field and on tires you can trust to help you go the distance. Goodyear, more driven. Cassidy Hubbard from the Ford wrap-up show to follow. Crispin to punt as Ohio State tries to close out what would be a marquee win for the Big Ten Conference in a day when plenty of teams suffered painful losses. Northwestern lost at home to Akron. A game they led 21-3 at one point. Crispin a high boot, and for the 5th time tonight he will pin TCU inside the 20. Nebraska beaten at home by Troy. Maryland routed by Temple. Rutgers routed by Kansas. No routes, we hope, next Saturday night in prime time on ABC. Stanford Cardinal visit loud and rowdy Autzen Stadium. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time. Game day will be there bright and early.
You know, the Big Ten had such a great bowl record last year. Right? They came into this year expecting to have that continue in the non-conference, and it has been a very, very tough first 3 weeks into the season for the Big Ten. They were 7-1 last year in the postseason.
You pointed out losses by teams that were ranked in the preseason, like Michigan State, Michigan, and today Wisconsin at home to BYU. Anderson tries to make a huge play again on the ground. Hard hit on the boundary here by Sean Wade. You say, why run the ball? Well, he did go 93 yards to the end zone earlier. Eight-yard gain on first down. TCU, which came out playing at hyper speed tonight, will need to generate more of that. They've slowed down since the first quarter a lot. Robinson launches over the middle off the hands of Rager, a little too tall.
Ohio State has had to show its depth today with some players going in and out. Of course, Nick Bosa is out. Seen them adjust to bring Jonathan Cooper and Chase Young both in. Cornell has played up front. You've seen them moving linebackers in and out, and also in the secondary. Right now, you're seeing some new corners right now. Kudu is in the game for Arnett.
Horned Frogs need 2 yards on 3rd down. And they go to their powerful short yardage specialist, Alana Lua. They'll move the sticks, and they'll want to play quickly now inside of 3 minutes.
Yeah, they really have to get going. Such a strength of theirs, the up-tempo approach.
Only 1 timeout left, Kirk, which could be crucial.
Timeouts and obviously out of bounds. Or, I mean, first downs and out of bounds.
Robinson flips it off, trying to escape the rush. Incomplete.
And they got home that time with just rushing 3. And you rush 3 and drop 8 into coverage. That's going to make it tough on Sean Robinson, especially when he gets flushed like that. And they've got 3 really good pass rushers, even with Bosa out. Draymond Jones is in there, Jonathan Cooper, and Chase Young.
Again, the 3-man rush as Robinson fires, and it's intercepted. Malik Harrison. And the Ohio State defense makes another play that should seal this victory in Texas.
Well, they showed blitz, and they ended up rushing 3 and dropping 8 again. And I don't know if he ever saw Malik Harrison.
It's a big man dropping deep in coverage and showing some good hands. You saw Bosa some half-hearted cheerleading from the bench. And that's the 3rd takeaway for this Ohio State defense. They've scored twice tonight.
So they're walked up, and then he'll drop out into the flat. You got 3 guys rushing the quarterback, and he tries to sneak that in, and I don't think he ever saw Malik Harrison.
Here's a dude who's the team's slam dunk champion. Yeah. He gets up high. You can see the athletic ability at that size.
250 pounds.
Weber forced out of bounds. Not exactly looking to stop the clock.
And he was a great high school basketball player. In fact, took his high school, Walnut Ridge, all the way to the Final Four his senior year.
Hometown guy from Columbus there.
Yeah.
So Weber trots off.
How about we talked about what kind of adjustments would this staff make without Urban Meyer? Ended up winning the second half 27-14.
No doubt. We talked about the fact that there's no lack of leadership on this coaching staff. Schiano, of course, a long successful career at Rutgers as Dobbins breaks free, still running down inside the 10.
He's running like a guy on a mission back home in his hometown state.
A stare down of the TCU defense after that run. You're exactly right. The hunger of these 7 Ohio State players, 4 are starters coming back in this state. It is palpable tonight.
And I got news for you. He hasn't run like this all year. These first 2 games. Mike Weber's looked a lot better in that backfield. And tonight it's been a different story. Dobbins has run with a chip on his shoulder, fired up to be home.
Man from LaGrange. Love to find the end zone. That's one missing thing that he hasn't done tonight. He's run for 121 yards.
The game clock will start on the snap.
So this penalty will back them up. Let's see if they just take a knee or to try to punctuate this with another touchdown.
I don't think you're trying to run up the score. I think the Ohio State staff has too much respect for TCU. But if you hand it off, then
you're not taking a knee.
No, I mean, I'd be surprised if they try to score.
No, they're not going to. It looks like a victory formation. Ohio State hoping to be back in this building again. This is the scene of one of the 2 playoff semifinals. TCU would love to get back here for the Big 12 championship game. This has been a very successful place for this program. The championship here 4 years ago, the big Cotton Bowl win over USC at the end of last season.
Yeah, they got challenged tonight. You knew they would. This is a game where they were down 21-13, had to fight back, and ended up pulling away 40-28. They got a big turnover for a touchdown with Draymond Jones. Let's not forget about Ohio State now goes back to Urban Meyer coming back. He'll be the head coach, and they have Tulane, and then they'll find out really how good they are when we go to State College in 2 weeks on the 29th.
Gene Smith, the athletic director, also comes off suspension on Sunday as well.
And let's not forget to give Gary Patterson at TCU a lot of credit. They've got Texas next week in Austin, and they'll try to put this one behind them. I'm sure they can learn from this game and get ready for conference play and try to make a run in the Big 12.
Ohio State gets it done with a 20-point burst in 4 minutes. The downside for them, the injury to this man, Nick Bosa. So it's an abdomen injury. No more information at this point, but it'll be a big story this week and how soon he can bounce back. Let's get thought on this victory of Ryan Day and Maria Taylor. Maria?
All right, Coach, that third quarter seemed like a difference maker. 2 scores and a pick 6. What changed for your team in the third?
Well, we talked about it was going to be ups and downs in this game, and that when things are going well with the momentum, you just got to get all you can get, and when things don't go well, you just got to hang on. I thought we hung on to some tough spots, and then when the momentum turned our way, we kind of got all we could get.
Your defense had to hang on without Nick Bosa. What is the latest update that you can give us on your star defensive line?
Yeah, he got hurt. He went down, had a little bit, of a lower leg injury there. So we'll take a look at it once we get in there. But, I mean, hats off to the defense. 2 scores like that in a game like this is a huge difference.
Well, you're 3-0 as an acting head coach. How would you say this team has just responded to the adversity of playing without their head coach through the first 3 games?
Yeah, this is a great team. It's a great culture. The kids that we have in the program and the coaches that we have in the program are A1A, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Urban Meyer, no doubt pleased, Kirk. There are things to work on, as you pointed out, but the bottom line is Ohio State comes here and passes one of the toughest tests they'll see all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a game that you knew you had to get away from home without your head coach. Urban Meyer is going to be very different than the Oregon State and Rutgers game. They took a few punches in the face. They were down, faced adversity, which is very healthy to do in the non-conference, because I think it helps season you when you get into conference play for both these teams. So Ohio State answered the bell, came away with a hard-fought win, and we'll see where they go from here as they get ready for Tulane next week and then really Penn State.
We saw some top 10 team go down, but I don't know if it's going to mean a shakeup in your top 4 here.
No, I flipped Georgia up just because they've just been so dominant. It's a great win. All 4 of these teams have really separated themselves from most other teams. I'll tell you a team that's starting to climb up is LSU. With what they've done these first 3 weeks, they've kind of come out of nowhere to kind of get hovering, starting to get into that top 5.
Who's done more than LSU? You beat Miami neutral, you go to Auburn and win on a late field goal.
They're right there.
By a Bengals fan saying, Herbstreit, what about us in the top 4? Not quite yet, huh? All right.
They're knocking on the door.
That was a fun one tonight. Frenetic at the start. Ohio State stronger in the second half. They win it by 12. Tonight's game produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Derek Mobley. A salute to our entire talented crew here, and a reminder that Washington and Utah currently in action over on ESPN. Next week, we come to you from Eugene, Oregon, the Stanford Cardinal and the Oregon Ducks in the Pac-12. So long for now from Arlington, the Ford Wrap-Up Show, and Cassidy Hubbard right now.
Thanks, Chris. So the Buckeyes get it done. Welcome to the Ford Wrap-Up. I'm Cassidy Hubbard. But for the most part, it was a rough day in the Big Ten, most notably in Madison. Wisconsin entered the day with 41 straight home wins against non-conference opponents, the longest active streak in the FBS. But BYU jumped around and threw that streak. Fourth quarter, the Cougars up 24-21. Chance to tie for Wisconsin, but they missed the 42-yard field goal. BYU pulls off the upset, their second road win against an AP top 10 team ever. Last one was back in 1984. To the SEC, LSU and Auburn, and another key field goal. Graduate transfer Cole Tracy's 42-yarder gives LSU the win, and for the second straight season, it overcame a double-digit deficit to beat Auburn 22-21 the final. Stay in the SEC, but this one was less close. Alabama, Ole Miss. Tua Tagovailoa finds Jerry Jeudy, 79 yards. Bama scored a TD on 5 of 7 drives led by Tua. Tide rolls 62-7. Now, while neither dropped 62 like top-ranked Bama, number 2 Clemson and number 3 Georgia both cruised to blowout wins at home. Both the Tigers and Bulldogs go on the road in conference next week. Number 5 Oklahoma taking on Iowa State. Kyler Murray finds Marquise Brown. Murray, 348 passing yards, 3 TDs, 77 rushing yards in his first career road start. 37-27 Sooners. Now, number 8 Notre Dame survived a scare from Vanderbilt and improved to 3-0. 9th-ranked Stanford also remained unbeaten with a 20-point win over UC Davis without Bryce Love. Now our play of the day, maybe season, North Texas and Arkansas, Keegan Brewer. He fields the short punt, but watch him. He acts like he called a fair catch, but he never does. Has everybody fooled and returns it 90 yards for a touchdown. The Mean Green possibly secured the play of the year, but definitely secured their first win over an SEC opponent in more than 40 years with their route. And right now, over on ESPN, number 10, Washington, up 14-7 on Utah. Expect a good finish as the last two meetings between these teams have come down to the wire. Again, this game right now on ESPN at the half. You've been watching the Ford Wrap-Up presented by the new 2018 Ford Expedition. Always unstoppable.